bro.
We're live. No swear words. Okay.
What do you mean? Nah.
Okay.
Nah, but yeah, what's up, chat?
What's
What's up,
up,
chat?
chat? Welcome back to the greatest podcast on Earth.
And bro, that pause was crazy. I was
Yeah.
like, is he about to finish?
I'm a master at building suspense, bro. What can I say?
Hey, bro.
Also, I think these podcast intros are kind of an art form in and of themselves. I came upon this awakening a couple episodes ago.
Hmm.
I think we can revolutionize the entire profession.
You think so?
I mean, I'm only slightly not exaggerating.
I mean, I will say this: we probably have a particular knack for coming in with the most unstructured, awkward intros I've ever seen in a podcast. One that at least has gotten to 62 episodes. I mean, you would think we've done this 62 times. We would get the hang of it. But you know what? No, we haven't. And that's something to behold. You guys, other podcasts, they're going to give you the same old cookie cutter intro. You're going to come here and know what to expect. Us, that's not going to happen.
Even
You're
we
gonna
don't
hear us
know.
bumbling over each other for 5 minutes. And then maybe we'll get into what we usually do. So new content every time, guys. You're welcome.
Yeah, you know what this podcast is like? It's like jazz, It's like beautiful improvisation. Somehow we make it work.
I would say it's like dropping a metal pipe from a skyscraper and then listening to the noise when it hits the ground, personally.
Jazz. Yeah.
I think it's a little disrespectful to the genre of jazz, but
It's all right.
bro said it's all right. That's crazy. I feel like it's like a Gojo OSD, bro. That shit don't be making sense, but I guess it's cool.
Damn, hating
Nah,
Gojo
but
off rip 2 minutes in. Are you
bro,
getting paid by Sukuna fans? And do they pay well? Like,
listen, bro. The thing is, everybody knows where I stand on who I think is gonna win, bro. Y'all know what side of the fence I'm on. But I will give a congratulations to Gojo, right? He did well this chapter. He did. I'm not gonna lie. What I said he'd do. Some motherfuckers were really out here like, no, bro. It makes sense if Gojo died. Yeah, shut up.
No,
All
wouldn't.
right, he's
Yeah.
still here.
I do. We'll talk about this more in the chapter, but I want to say this chapter was like personally just so fucking fun. Okay, we're past 30 seconds. Oh my god, my soul left my body for a split second.
Yeah,
Whoa.
you messed up before I messed up, bro.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, I might cry. Oh, I wasn't ready for that. That I felt the entire like stream just go before my eyes, man. I need a second to recuperate.
Yeah. I bet you do. I can understand and I sympathize with how relieving it must be for a Gojo fan to read this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to spend a decent chunk of what we talk about the chapter hyping up Gojo, right? One is just like it being what I think he deserves. Two was a personal favorite to my homie Testro, and I guess a little bit of you or whatever. And three, I guess Gojo's all right sometimes. But I also am going to have a little bit of a hot take because I've been seeing people say that Sukuna's down 3-1 in the series, right?
He isn't.
In all of their fights, like their fighting chapters so far, he's been getting bodied. And like, I get it. I understand. But I do want to have a dialogue, an open discussion, if you will, about Sukuna versus Gojo and like my current thoughts on who, regardless of the chapter to chapter sort of thing, is in the advantageous position. So I want to talk about that when we end up talking about the chapter and stuff like that.
Definitely a very fun chapter to like sink our teeth into. So like we'll do that in a bit. Also, Jerome Simmons, thank you for the 14. Curse technique reversal red. I mean, low key.
Bro dropped that too early in the fight too. I'm sick.
Yeah. It's funny that he used purple before red. Just want to I noticed that on my second read through of the chapter, I was like, huh. It never occurred to me that like Gojo could just go out of order.
I got in a little bit of, well, to be fair, he showed us red before he ever showed us blue.
True.
Which was also like when you look at it as like, why are you doing this? But I got into a little bit of a scuffle on Twitter the other day when I was like, you know what, bro? The fact, me, right? So rare. I've never been known to like start conflicts with people. But I was like, the fact that Sukuna got hit in the face with red and like his face is peeling off just confirms to me
I know
that
you're gonna say
could not just sit there, put his arms out, and just eat purple, bro.
Oh,
Like, it just doesn't make
I thought you were
any
gonna say
sense,
something
bro.
else.
Nah.
Thank God.
Nah. This is, well, you thought I was gonna say, like, what, that he's weak or something?
No, I thought you were gonna say Jogo took less damage from red.
Oh, I mean, first of all, he did. Like, that's crazy. He did. Sukuna, hold on, bro. Agenda incoming.
Oh no.
Sukuna is the person.
Yo,
Nah, yeah.
I'm sorry, chat.
Sukuna, hold on. There's been 3 people that we've seen get hit by red. 4 people we've seen get hit by red. Nah, not 4. 3. Toji, Jogo, and Sukuna. And guess who took the most damage? The quote unquote
Who's the
king of curses
that got kicked out?
No, I was I thought Miguel did for a second, but that was a cursed spirit.
Okay.
So Jogo just ate that shit easy. Toji literally just, he was like, damn, my head seems to be bleeding a little bit. And Sukuna's out here collapsed, crumbled.
I'm so sorry,
bro.
Chat.
And the crazy thing is, it was adult Gojo too, which in Jogo's case at least. So I don't know. Jogo clearly wasn't trying against Sukuna.
I want to go with the headcanon that Gojo was deliberately holding back the potency of red.
Nah, he can't do that. Can't hold back. Gojo can't hold back, actually, in canon. Gege told me. He whispered it to me.
And did he also tell you why he was going on another break?
Yeah, he basically, what he did is he just gave me the middle finger, actually. So, you know, that's that explanation.
Yeah, that sounds like Gege.
Yeah. Anyways, what I was going to say real quick is just that, like, and I'm kind of curious what you and chat think, but, like, Sukuna getting damaged by red, in us as the audience knowing that, like, take a character like Toji, right? Granted, red and purple at the time are respectively scaled down, but the difference between them should be the same. Toji kind of just ate red and was like, he just monologues to himself. He's like, yeah, no, I could do that again. I can get hit with red. I'm not worried about that shit, bro. That's weak. And then purple just eviscerated him, right?
Yep.
So to me, it's just like, Sukuna, all right, bro, listen. I think you're going to win this fight, right? So there's no hate. But red made you look like you were a Batman villain, all right? It made you look like you flip a coin whenever you're trying to decide who you're going to kill, all right? I don't think you got out of a purple with just 2 destroyed arms, bro. I know you moved. I know you used a shadow and you jumped out of the way, bro. Just tell the truth. Be honest. Let's let it go already. You're not like that. You're not like that, bro.
I see the agenda is being pushed.
Yeah.
Oh, Drum Summons, thank you for the 14. Ronin, they cooked you on Twitter, LOL. They did have words to like share with you.
Sure, yeah, they definitely did respond, but you know, is it being cooked if they're still wrong? No, you know, that's up for you guys to decide. But yeah, I definitely did scuffle with a couple of gentlemen on Twitter about this topic.
Nothing gentlemanly about that whole exchange, to be honest with you.
Yeah, bro. Listen, I can understand why a simpleton like you wouldn't be able to understand the complex discussion about that. But, you know, let me not insult you too much, all right? I was actually hyping up Gojo for a little bit, but I guess that's not welcome on this podcast. That's my fault.
Hold on. Whoa. Let's not be too.
Because that's all that was. That was Gojo hype, right? But I don't know, Gojo hype ain't allowed, bro.
You kind of ended it, you know, not on the hype is all I'm saying. You know, you did just explicitly say, yeah, Sukuna, I think you're gonna win. So I mean, let's.
Which one would he be wrong, bro? Like, I mean, come on now. Like, let's be honest. I can hype up Gojo and still not be incorrect. But yeah, he smiled through the red though. Bro, if somebody hits me over the head with a hammer and I smile, that does not mean that shit don't hurt. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Yeah. What I think happened, I guess we're briefly going to talk about this chapter as like a teaser. Fine. Whatever, right? What I think happened, seriously, is just, you know how Sukuna was like, oh shit, he's spamming simple domain? This is getting tedious, right? And he was getting bored again. And I think Gojo whipping out the blue-red combo there was like he was building to something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's just how it was being perceived.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
So
people need to stop with he was smiling, Gojo smiling too. Yeah, Gojo was literally dying. Well, I won't say dying. That's exaggerated. He was getting eviscerated with dismantle and cleave, and he was smiling. Like, smiling doesn't mean you don't take damage. These guys are just insane.
Actually, not only was he smiling, he even said, like at the beginning, double spread, he was like, man, my curse technique is fire. Like, as his guts
bro said, oh my god, like, yes, my technique is way better than yours. I'm like, like, listen, bro. I know you're Gojo, right? So I'm not gonna disrespect you, but like, also that is an insane statement as you were currently in the middle of just
You're getting
becoming blood
descaled,
and
bro.
ooze, bro.
Like you're literally
Yeah.
on his cutting board. Like you.
Yeah. I do get what he means though. So
Yeah.
it's something I want to give credit to Tessera for this idea, but Tessera was basically saying, because I was talking to him about it, I was like, dude, I don't know how Gojo can be getting torn up and think this. And he was like, no, he's probably just meaning that like if Sukuna's ever caught in his domain, that's an instant lose. Whereas Gojo can not technically, Gojo just can survive the conditions of Sukuna's domain. And
Oh, that is interesting.
like
Yeah.
yeah, so maybe he's referring to like the ability of his domain, at least in this context. Or he might just be saying, "Wow, bro, your slashing techniques are really crazy. Too bad I control space and time. Thank you."
Yep.
So
Dude,
you know,
I
either
gotta
one.
say, again, we'll get more into this later, but new like personal favorite Gojo moment just dropped where he speed blitzed Sukuna, which, whew, that was a fun panel to like read. You know, really sink my
Yeah,
teeth into. A shocked
yeah,
Sukuna is a sight to behold.
fair enough, fair enough. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Gonna be a
I
fun
will
chapter
say,
to like really get into.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Before we get into that though, we got to talk about the riffraff or whatever.
Mm.
So let's start with the Black Clover chapter.
Actually, you
Did
know,
you read this one this week?
I did. Haha.
Impressive.
I want to say Tabata he's gone 3 for 3 so far. The streak is alive. This one's definitely like the weakest out of the last three, but it's not. It didn't lose the momentum, right?
And you want to know why?
If you say oh
Wasn't the
my god.
focus. Yes, sir. You listen, you said it yourself. This was the weakest one. And how many panels was in? Only one.
My god.
That's why this shit wasn't hitting like the other ones, bro. Uh
It
that
was.
I mean
I mean, it was low key kind of cool to see the scales guy get angel fied or whatever the hell, like new human.
uh, yeah. So cool.
Oh, actually, you know
Um
what was cool? Like, unironically, I did like that essentially, he redrew that Asta panel, the iconic Asta panel with Seke. Just,
oh, yeah.
I appreciated that moment. He's trying, and he's like channeling some of Asta's courage. I just thought it was sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was it was a solid chapter. I like you said, not holding really up to the other two, but it's not enough for me to say, damn, Tabata, you're back at your normal state, you know what I mean? Asta, come cook this idiot, all right? Then get back home and maybe we can have you and cook up a comeback, all right? Um, but yeah. Did y'all watch the movie? No, I did not watch the Blood Clover movie yet. That
No.
shit was just nearly 2 hours. I was about to, Noah was talking to me about it, how it was pretty good, but he said there was not enough, and if there is a 2 hour Black Clover movie and there's not enough, I don't know what the 2 hours are for. I'm gonna be real with you. So
Oh,
I decided to not
dude.
tune in, at least not right now.
Ah, that's so annoying. We just got limited monetization out of nowhere.
Mm,
God,
I wonder.
dude, this is getting like a little grating.
Hmm.
Because it's seemingly just random at this point. Um, God, whatever. Anyway, moving on to first of all, 7 out of 10 chapter, 6.5 really,
Yeah,
six
I'll
point
give it a
five.
6.5.
Yeah.
It's solid. It's solid.
Um,
Um,
I want to talk about something in regards to the My Hero chapter, right? I just want to release this statement. Maybe somehow it'll reach him, but Horikoshi, you are allowed to take a break. All right. I don't know who at Jump Editorial is telling you you can't. You
they're
can.
incorrect.
Yep.
Let me
Bro.
phrase it in a way that maybe a workaholic or like somebody that's really worried about this may understand,
Mm.
right? Your pacing is slower when you're doing this instead of taking a break. Um, like just numerically so, right? Putting out an 8-page chapter every week, that barely progresses the fight or the plot or the war
Eight
is
pages,
just
bro.
it's just not going to progress the story as much as if you take 2 weeks off, you take 3 weeks off, you take a month off, right? and now you can come back and have consistently 18 pages, 19 pages, 20 page chapter pages, 18, 19, 20 page chapters again, because then you're just gonna be flying through shit, bro. But this 8 page shit just not working.
Dude,
Right?
I was so I was more surprised by the page number than I was the actual like material of the chapter. I was so surprised. I was like, dude, single digits is so fucking crazy. Is this even a chapter? Like, if this had ended with like a 0.5, I would have been like, all right, fine, right? But a whole number for 8 pages. Woof.
Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't help that like it was an 8 page chapter about a conflict that I already feel like is going
Like,
very boringly.
it's just
Like Toga and Uraraka is just not moving me, bro. And this was like one of the conflicts that like you fucking go back a couple of months or whatever. I was like, I don't think Horikoshi is necessarily going to write it in the way that I would hope, or to the level I would hope, rather. But it is, in theory, a very, very interesting battle to me, right? Just because of the themes and blah, 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 right? But, I mean, bro, 8 pages of talking about love. What are we doing, bro? Like, Horikoshi, can you
take a break?
like,
Go on
okay,
a
okay,
vacation, bro. I'd see a
like here's
physical therapist. You have options.
yeah, bro. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you're not gonna take a break, fine, right? You're not gonna listen to me. Shit, you're not even gonna see this. But like, either fully lock in or take a break. This half locked in, half not. It's just not working,
It's the
bro.
worst of both
You're
worlds.
getting the worst of both worlds. You're not resting, and this shit ain't hitting. Pick one. If you're going to be a workaholic, bro, if you're not gonna run from the grind, I need 20 pages. And if you're going to do the smart thing and take some rest, just don't write something for 2 weeks, bro. Like, get out of here. I'm about to run you out of town,
like,
so
bro,
you can relax.
See your HR department. Let them know that somebody's lying to you about whether or not you can like clearly somebody's like getting a rise out of him, right? Because there's no way. There's no way. Like,
yeah, bro. Like, come on now. You're better than this. Like, literally, you're better than this.
And it's like, bro, yeah, like, I know you can draw, right? However, you proving it to me with a Toga Uraraka chapter, man, it's like if Da Vinci drew Garfield, you know? Like, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good.
Listen,
job.
bro. All I'm saying, like, stick to the grind and knock out 20-page chapters. I don't think you should. But if you're not gonna listen to reason, you better not listen to reason and get some shit done, or take a break, bro. Relax. Have you considered, like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this back. Take his pen, take his paper, take his ink.
For his
Not
own
because
good.
it's bad, yeah, but literally for your health, bro. I'm about to steal your pen from you right now. I'm gonna just throw it out the window.
Bro,
like, what are we doing?
Like put down the pen, right? And go to bed.
Like, bro, Gege's the one saying, I gotta finish this by the end of 2023, bro. He's taking a break every other week.
Yeah.
Horikoshi, relax. Relax.
Bro, Gege's practicing for his vacation. Like
yeah. Relax, bro. Just get in a recliner and take a nap. And then take another nap. And then take another nap,
by
bro.
the end of the
and then
year,
get some sleep.
Oda will have taken like 4 months off of One Piece collectively. Like, it's okay, bro.
Yeah, like, I don't know who told you need to be like this, bro. I'm telling you, it is okay to stop. Like, Landa said he needs to lock out.
Literally, bro, yeah. Clock out and lock out. Like,
bro, like literally, I'm about to get a flight and just be like, listen, I cannot in good faith allow you to write anything.
Right. It's like, bro, I will take you to a hot spring myself. Damn. Like,
just don't do some shit. Yeah.
The chapter was like, sorry, the collection of pages we got was cool.
Yeah. It was fine. Like 6.5. No, 6.5 is crazy. 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, 5 out of 10. I'm gonna be real, 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
And it's not even because like it's super uninteresting. It's like there's
it
nothing
was so.
there.
Not only is there nothing there, it was more distracting. Like the page number was more distracting than the content. If that makes like I was so like, I couldn't believe that it exists like this, right? Because it is just Toga and Uraraka having the same conversation again, bro.
Yeah, he's not writing this very compellingly. I will say that
It's
if
like,
we were like moving past the like Horikoshi intervention, and people are saying he's over this manga, and like that may be true, but I don't think
just
this
finish it then.
is. I don't
Like-
think this is the result of that. Because if he was just over it, right? Gege. No, let me not say that.
Yeah, let's not give him any
but-
ideas.
Listen. I'll just put it like this, right? I think if he were over it, he would take a long ass break and then just speed run to the end. But right now, and he may be over it, but I don't think his low page count is because he's over it. I think it's because he's overworked in an industry that like allows for overwork to happen, and he's feeding into it himself. Like, bro, you're not Kishimoto, you're not Kubo, you're not Oda, bro.
Yeah.
Put the pen down, put the paper down, leave the ink at home, and go take a break.
See your family,
Relax.
touch some grass, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. And you know what's funny? I feel like this kind of is maybe a tell. I don't think it's as extreme as like he's over the manga, right? But I definitely think it's like there's a substantial difference between Horikoshi's like treatment of My Hero versus like Oda, where he's like issuing statements and apologies for taking any breaks. He's like this is why I have to do it. My health got so bad that the doctors are like right next to me as I write this letter. They're going to sedate me, so I stop working on One Piece.
Yeah, I can't be allowed to leave. This is unfortunate.
Like I remember there was this one statement from Togashi where he was like, "All right, guys, I figured it out. If I have the desk above my bed vertically, I might be able to endure the pain long enough to draw a single page." And it's just like, all right, Horikoshi, I don't want you to go through that, but I don't think you have it either. Take those vacation days. Take those sick days.
Like, literally just do it. Literally just do it. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our plea to Horikoshi, and I guess like a byproduct, we reviewed the chapter that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thoughts on that.
Oh,
okay.
So,
book club, right?
Actually,
Or
do you want to do the? We can.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about Spider-Man.
So, had a big weekend, or rather, I had a big day yesterday. I finally saw Spider-Verse. I was expecting a round of applause. All right, fine, we can push past that. Anyway, so the reason it took me so long, let me explain that first. Adulting is very difficult, right? I've recently started practicing the craft seriously a couple months ago, and I realized something. Most weekdays are just really exhausting, right? Go to work, and you're just tired after, right? I know this isn't a new revelation, but it's one that I've recently had to figure out a workaround with, right? So this leaves weekends to do the bulk of, like, fun human living, right? And I realized my friend's birthday falls into that second week of June, and I was like, wait, are you telling me I can knock out both a birthday hangout for a friend and get to see Spider-Verse all in the same day? I almost felt in tears, dude. I was so happy. Bro. Yes, it is. It actually is. Thank you for saying that. Because you know what? It was a great movie. It was a fantastic use of my free time. I am more than happy to see it. I think it's arguably my new favorite Spider-Man movie. I would like to say something at the start of this review, right? I just want to give our thoughts. That there will be spoilers, because you know BR's been dying to talk to me about it for a while. Don't say anything about that. Anyway.
I decided to stay silent. I didn't want to ruin your momentum.
So
go ahead.
I want to start off with like my big take, right? I've seen some people say, "Oh man, I don't know if this is better than the first Spider-Man movie." And to those people, I say, I don't know if they're like watching the movie with a blindfold on, or maybe they were asleep in the middle, or there might be something wrong with them on like a fundamental level, right? Like something in their brain just ain't right. But I saw this movie and I was like, anybody who has the audacity to even wonder if this is better than the first one, if this is arguably a top 1, top 2 Spider-Man movie, do I think of them less as people, as humans? Yes.
I mean, to be fair, people who like think that had Into the Spider-Verse as a top one, top two Spider-Man movie, anyways. Um,
You know, I
so
feel like the joke
the
went over your
crowd
head.
was
I was paraphrasing your tweet.
who me
Yeah, you actually,
paraphrasing my tweet.
yeah, you tweeted that
I
a couple
never
weeks
said
ago.
anything like
You
that.
did. You're like, oh, I'm
I
not
said
sure.
how the streets feeling about
No,
Across the
you
Spider-Verse
said you
over
weren't.
Into
You
the
said you
Spider-Verse.
weren't sure if you had it above yet. You know, I waited, dude. I waited 9 days to make this joke.
No, well,
Apparently I
maybe
waited
you
too
should have
long.
maybe you should have took 9 days more to just refine it a little bit, bro.
You know
Tone it
what? You
down.
know what? It's fine. That was my long-winded way of saying I like this one more than the first one, and it's arguably my favorite Spider-Man movie now. Okay, are you happy now? Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yes, actually, being much more direct made it much more understandable. Thank you. Um, yeah, but yeah, I think I agree with you. Boon Yaha, thank you for the two, by the way. Spectacular Spider-Man siding with Miguel, siding with Miguel shocked me.
It shouldn't have.
I mean,
Oh wait,
I'll,
Spectacular Spider-Man? Oh yeah, no, that's something else.
I mean, I can see that. Like, to be honest, mainly because if you look at it, so here's, I know a lot of people are like, these Spider-Man would never do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blah 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 blah. Like, if you look at it from the perspective of these are people who have already lost the thing, what Miguel's offering is a rationale as to why it had to all happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine like some major tragedy, or even if it isn't some major tragedy, so just some minor misfortune in your life, right? And you personally have to blame yourself. You're at the core of it, blah blah blah, right? For whatever reason, you can't help but feel like you're the one who messed up here. Now imagine somebody that knows more than you, or that says they know more than you, right?
I mean,
Says that it's
he
okay.
had a full
This had
presentation.
to. Hey, bro, I can present bullshit. But anyways, right? He says, right? He says, listen, bro. Not only did this have to happen to you, but it's happened to literally all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
In an infinite multiverse, this has happened and will happen to every single version of Spider-Man, right? And not only are you not alone, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not really your individual fault, right?
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Especially when you combine with the fact that, hey, this has to happen for the sake of the multiverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
For someone that's probably as continuously down on themselves, for someone that is as responsibility driven as a plethora of Spider-Man, I think it makes sense for all of these people who have probably all collectively lost something to
Mm-hmm.
be like, hey, I already lost it, right? So it's not like I'm even trying to fight to keep it anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Ben's gone. Like he's dead, he's gone, bro. I can't get him back, right?
Right.
The cop that I was close to in a lot of scenarios, gone. Can't get him back, right? So all Miguel is doing is providing a rationale and saying this shit just has to happen sometimes, bro. You just gotta hold that. It's just gotta happen. Cool. But I think the reason we can see Miles as like so rebellious is because one of the major events for him at least hasn't happened. He still has something to attempt to fight for, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my interpretation. Like I feel like for Spectacular Spider-Man, he probably already lost his buddy cop before he was recruited, right? So it's like you know, he doesn't get to fight for that, but Miles does. He got told beforehand, right? It's not a rationale anymore. He's now being told, listen, kid, we know your dad's gonna die. We know it's going to happen in a few days.
Them's the
right?
breaks, you know?
And I'm not gonna let you do anything about it. Yeah, no. I'd punch Miguel in the face too, bro. I hit him with a couple of elbows myself. Like I'm not. I don't know who this guy thinks I am, but you just can't let that. Like you just can't let that slide. You just can't, bro. It just can't happen.
Okay. I hear you. I agree with you, right? I want to say something that just to play devil's advocate for Miguel here, right?
Okay.
I mean, if this many Spider-Men, right? This isn't, Kang or like Lex Luthor saying this, right? It's like a whole council of the great power, great responsibility guys, right? If they're all like, hey man, it literally destroys the universe. Like we've tested it out, and confirmed it. Like this is the way the cookie crumbles, right? Are you just
how has he tested it out?
He said, right?
He said that when he replaced his Spider-Man, right, and lived his life, the world was destroyed, right? That is not only very vague, But like, what's the control, bro? What's the control group there? You're just you like, because the thing is, it's not the same as saving somebody, right?
Right.
It's like you replaced a whole human being and lived their life for an unknown amount of time. That's not the same thing as Miles potentially saving his dad, bro. Like, it's just apples to oranges. You can have the hunch, you can have the hypothesis, do your thing, bro. Scientific method that shit if you have to. What I'm saying is like, listen, you don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, right? Like your plan means my dad dies.
Right. So let me try out mine first, and then
I'm gonna try out mine. And if I have to fix the shit after, bro, I'll fix the shit after.
It's like,
I'm gonna cook.
Yep.
I will fight all of you if I have to.
All right, bro. And like, if the universe falls apart, that's my bad. All right. I'll apologize. All right. Well, that's on me. I'm willing to accept that responsibility. All right.
Yeah.
But I still want, like, it has to be my decision, right? Like, I still have to try.
Because it's just like not trying is just, oh no, it's gonna happen anyways, bro. It's just the canon. Okay, yeah, sure. Like, no, fuck you. I'm doing this. Like, dude, like I don't care about what you think. Like, I'm not letting this shit slide. I will beat all. And Miles said, he said, hey, bro, I got you. Every Spider-Man, let's go. Come on, let's do this.
Okay. I want to talk about some of the cooler stuff first. First and foremost, I think top 3 favorite characters in the movie, Miles excluded, because obviously that's like a gimme. Number 1 has got to be Miguel. Number 2, Hobby or Hobie, Spider-Punk.
Hobie.
And number 3 is probably Gwen.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, Gwen's like a secondary main character. I agree.
I don't know, bro. I just rocked with Miguel as like an antagonist, right? He was just
Miguel's cool.
Yeah, he's just so fucking cool. And he's like needlessly, hilariously hostile. I remember I was telling you this before either of us saw the movie, and I was like, dude, if the entire movie is just like Miguel raging, foaming at the mouth because Miles still has both his parents alive, it'll automatically be a 10 out of 10 movie, right?
Yeah.
And they took that and made it more nuanced, and it's like an 11 out of 10, right? It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't tell me when you saw Miguel like fight Miles on the moon train, you weren't like, all right, damn, this shit feels like it's not about me, like.
Yeah, it did feel very aggressive. Yeah, like it's funny too because Miguel was like he had kind of this understanding vibe at first. He's like, listen, Miles, I get it. As soon as Miles broke out and ran, he was like, I'm going to kill this kid. He has to die.
Bro, he was coming at him with some vigor. Like,
yeah, bro.
Damn. Like,
yeah, bro. He was aggressive. He was aggressive.
Like, honestly, bro, if I'm Miles, I'm like, bro, you want to talk about it first? Shit.
Yeah, bro. Hey, how am I an anomaly again? Are you saying I don't deserve to be here? Bro. On what basis? On my Spider? Are you sure it's about Spider-Man right now? Are you sure?
Because, bro, that you're a mistake shit, like, that felt
charged. It feels a little bit like I don't know, bro.
Like, I feel like I know it's about me, but like I don't think that one felt like it was about you, Like
yeah. Because it's also funny that like he didn't like Miguel's powers do not come from the conventional means.
Yes,
like they literally,
dude.
It's like you're a contradiction, bro. Dude, what are we doing?
Not only that, right? So like as like a comic book person, I love the small attention to detail with Miguel's powers. There are 3 moments that like immediately resonate. One, when the Da Vinci Vulture was coming up from behind him and he didn't notice, so he doesn't have a spider sense. Love that, right? I love that. They didn't even need to say it. You just show it. So he's already an anomaly in that regard. He doesn't have this like spiritual connection to being Spider-Man that the others do. 2, he can't stick to walls.
Yep. So it up.
Yeah, he has like physical talons out of his hands and feet. At least the feet are in the comics. I don't know if I saw them in the movie because I only saw claw marks, not like toe marks. Anyway, so he has to like pull himself up and like almost like a wild animal. When he has to climb shit, so I appreciated that. And lastly was his fangs. It sucks that they didn't like show like that sequence play out in its entirety, but he has this like venom that he secretes from his fangs, and man, by the end of the movie, right, I something clicked with me. Miguel is the perfect foil to Miles. Not only in the anomaly sense, right, as you just said, right, he didn't get his from a spider bite, he got it through gene splicing in a lab. But also they have like almost inverse powers because Miles does have that like spider sense, right? He does have, you know, the venom sting and the invisibility. And it's funny because I think I forget if this is like a canon thing, pardon the pun, but so from what I remember, Miles is he gets these extra powers as like compensation for being like physically weaker than like normal Spider-Man, like the typical Spider-Man like build, right? Like your baseline Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy like spider bite, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in exchange he gets like the venom sting and the invisibility, which in my opinion is a great trade-off. I'd make it every single time. Like, sure, I take that hit in speed and strength just for those abilities alone. I think they're way better. You get more applications, but again, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely feels like Miguel got the short end of the stick. But then you realize, like, yeah, no, I mean, the end result is he can still do the wall thing. The Spider Sense one does suck, but he gets, like, enhanced vision and enhanced hearing to sort of offset it, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But he also, like, his trade-off is actually inverse in a similar way as Miles, so instead of getting these, like, auxiliary powers, he gets, like, boosted strength and speed, so he's actually typically stronger than your average Peter Parker build. So I
could look at him and say that, yeah, he looks like you're a little bit stronger than your average Peter Parker. I'll say that for sure.
Yeah. So I appreciated that on like a metatextual level. So yeah. I don't know if,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think him and Spot kind of work as like as being antagonists for similar aspects
Spot was
of
great.
I like
Oh my
Spot
God.
like wanting approval.
Yep.
The same way that Miles kind of did in the Spider Society or whatever, right? Like Spot's like, dude, I'm not a villain of the week, bro. I'm your arch nemesis, and you better accept me as such.
And you know what's fucking crazy? Like, I felt like I was like with Miles, right? I started laughing at him, right? I was like, oh yeah, this guy's a joke, right? And let me tell you, when he did the inverse colors,
yeah, mm-hmm.
I got a little goosebumps. You know, I was like, you know, if I could go in, I'd be like, all right, Miles, so I'm gonna need you to wash my mouth closely, right? So, because this might come up again, I just want you to have this like weapon in the back pocket, right? So, look at me. I'm sorry, right?
Yeah. So I apologize, bro. You are very dangerous. You're very scary. I literally don't want smoke. I genuinely, because one power up in, bro, was piecing up Miles, bro,
and other Spider-Man
him up.
Crazy.
He was bullying him, bro. I was like, what am I watching right now? What is going on?
Literally,
where is the exaggerated swagger, Miles? Pull it out now. What are we doing?
Miles, try your apology ability. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, bro.
Bro apologized like when it was too late. I'm like, no. See, you should have done that like the second time, right? That's when that's when it was like past its sell by date. Was after that point.
Spot, my fault, bro. My bad.
Won't happen again. All right.
Yeah. See you back home.
Yep.
Spider-Man.
I'm very
no. I don't want to see you back home. No. Wait. No, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd be pissed. Be like, why is my villain a guy who can like
right. Like your first arch nemesis is like threatening reality. It's like, all right, guys, okay. How was I supposed to know, right?
Yeah, like how? Come on, man. He teleports, but like the way he did it at first was lame.
And it's like, okay, imagine Miles gets over this, right? First lesson I'm taking away. I'm gonna treat every single villain like they're the Green Goblin from that point on, right? I am taking all of them absolutely seriously, bro.
Huh.
You're not?
Yeah.
You're not.
No, I am. I might have to kill some, bro. If I even have the sneaking suspicion, like, you seem like you might be slightly strong. I'm going to crush you, actually. I'm going to use my full strength, because the last guy I underestimated, he was a multiversal threat.
All right. So, like, if there's a villain that's like, yeah, I'm the yo-yo man, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, this guy, he's threatening the world. I gotta put him down, like with full prejudice, you know?
Yeah. Literally with prejudice, bro. Like, sorry. I don't know you. You may actually be one of the guys that can reform. I don't care. I'm going to make sure that you blow up. I'm very sorry.
I saved the multiverse once. I got one of those. I'm gonna be so for real. I think maybe I got like one like save the universe in me. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think God's letting me get away with that a second time.
Yeah, I'm not really a save the universe type of hero. You know what I mean? Like, I can,
Once, right?
when necessary,
Right.
I'm allowed to.
Yeah,
But like,
like I cashed in
it,
my one chit, right?
yeah.
This is somebody else's problem, right?
Like, motherfucker, you ever heard the term friendly neighborhood? Like, do you know what ballpark I like to sit in? Like,
Yeah.
hello.
Bro, if I'm Miles, I'm getting out a map. I'm just drawing a big like red border around like I don't know the Bronx or something. I'm like, all right, Manhattan, Avengers problem, right? Queens, I'll leave that to Peter, right? Whatever. Y'all are on your own, all right?
At best, I will fight for New York, bro. But really, I really want to stay local. I really want to stay local, bro.
I tried out the traveling thing. Not for me.
Not
For
really
me.
rocking with it. Not really rocking with it. But yeah, Miles was really cool in this movie. I will say, like, I can't say anything that hasn't already been said about like the animation and visuals. It's just like, wow, I didn't know things could look like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
I felt like it was an out of body experience, dude. The conversation with Gwen and her dad was like every frame up was a painting almost. It was beautiful.
very much so, very much so. Somebody mentioned Mrs. Supercharged for Sleeping Danger. So thank you for the 14. Leap of Faith is still the best scene out of both.
It was.
I don't know if I agree. I'd have to rewatch both in succession to let you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do my own thing. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, kind of nuts, bro. Kind of nuts.
Sorry,
nah.
bro, I just remembered the Photoshop.
Nah. I'm gonna kill myself.
And bro,
in Minecraft or whatever.
Dude, if there's like a second part to that, and Miguel was like, "Oh, okay, that fixes everything. Thanks, bro."
Yeah, thank you.
I mean,
yeah,
not everything. I mean, it's your dad that needs to do it, not you. But I appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah.
Sleeping Danger thing for the 14. Miguel heard Miles got to be in Spanish plus Miss Super. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. It was really cute watching Miles first interact with Miguel. You know, when he was like, "Hey, Dio," right? And with the empanada, I thought that was adorable. It was really funny.
And he threw it. I was like, "Hey, bro, you didn't even get off on a good foot. Like, you could have been nice to him from the beginning, but you just showed yourself to be an asshole." Miguel literally just threw. God, bro, like, relax. Miles didn't, even if he did fuck some shit up, he didn't mean to, bro. Like, have you considered just chilling? And he didn't, actually. But yeah.
Yep. And
good movie. Really good
great
movie,
movie, yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
I think I have it personally above Into the Spider-Verse. Actually, it was funny. I was talking to my friend who's like a big Spider-Man fan, right? After the movie, and I was like, "Oh, so this or No Way Home?" He's like, "Oh, this, like, it's not even a competition."
Yeah, why was No Way Home the thing that you compared it to?
Multiversal Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. When you No Way Home looks bad in terms of the multiverse aspect in comparison when you're like, damn, bro, 3 Spider-Men to all of these.
Dude, seeing video game Spider-Man and Spectacular Spider-Man, which, by the way, I almost cried. I was like, hey, it's him with the voice actor and everything. He looks a little weird in like the pseudo 3D, but whatever.
They made him short as hell, bro. That shit was so funny to me. He is a tiny guy. But yeah,
dude,
actually, I like seeing him in there.
This reminds me of this, like, the funniest tweet I ever saw about Spider-Verse, right? And I mentioned this to my friend. It's like, okay, imagine you're Miguel, right? You get these spider powers. You know, you find out there's a whole multiverse of them, and then you find out you're not only the only Spider-Man, right? But you're also in the minority of Spider-Men who are not this one really annoying guy from Queens.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like the vast multiverse, right? And you're like, man, I know it's infinite, but like, I don't know if all these infinities are necessarily, equal here. Is it just my luck? Like,
yeah.
And it's like, no wonder he's pissed off all the time.
Dude, I would hate to be surrounded by them. It would just be so annoying. When I heard my 31st quip in the first minute of my day, I would simply lose it.
And, bro, Peter B. Parker being like, "Hey man, why aren't you're the only Spider-Man that doesn't make quips?" And it's just like, bro, Miguel needs a fucking break. Like that's a man who needs some time off. Bro,
for sure.
When his eyes like turned red, I was like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe let somebody else be in charge for like 5 minutes. You know, the stress
Just
seems
a
to be
little bit.
getting to you.
Just a little bit, yeah. King Nija, thank you for the 5. To quote BR, let me not get y'all demonetized. This is why we need some brothers in fiction, especially as MCs. I agree. Yes, that is what I said. And I stick by that 100%. And Google Me, thank you for the 5. Spot went from clown shoes to bullying 4 Spider-Man at the same time to a multiversal threat that'll body Spire Society solo. He's peak, to be honest. Yeah, he's
Yep.
pretty fucking cool.
He
He's a pretty cool
really, yeah,
guy.
he earned it. I'm proud of him. You know, he's come a long way. Um, I do want to mention some smaller stuff before we like transition out of the Spider Verse talk. Okay. One, Hobie, I MVP of the
Oh, he's
movie.
so cool,
He's
bro.
so fucking cool.
Oh, it'd be
Yeah,
so cool, bro. Like he's actually like kind of like annoyingly cool. It's like, what are you doing?
yeah,
When
dude.
Miles said, "Oh, how'd you get
Cool
cooler
with that
without
out
the
your
mask?"
mask.
Like
Yeah,
I was like,
dude.
no, I agree.
Yep,
I've been this cool the whole time.
dude.
What? Don't Nah, bro. Don't piss me off.
Dude, I just loved Hobie. He was fantastic. Hard bars. Hey, Hobie, you're not being helpful. Good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man.
God. So I love that. Another small thing that I just want to reiterate on, you know, triple down on, really get the sentiment across, bro. Seeing Peter experience the joys of fatherhood almost brought a tear to my eye. Like, an alive Mary Jane, him being like happy with his new kid. I couldn't believe it was real. I know a Marvel executive was throwing up somewhere when they saw the cut of this movie. I was
Very nice to
so
see.
fucking happy, man. Like I was like, yo, I want to see these pictures.
Yeah. I want to see these pictures. Yeah, let me see, bro. Come on now. Don't be stingy.
Bro, you
Um.
don't get it, bro. You don't get the pain of being like a Mary Jane Peter shipper. All right? Like I've been a Mary Jane Peter shipper since I was like 6 years old, all right? And every single time you just Marvel editorial just rips it out of you. All right? I have so like you have to understand, right? I had no hope left. All right, it wasn't even like I was on my last stride. No, I had nothing. All right, that not only was the slot empty, it went out of business. Right, it just existed as like a empty land. Right,
mhm.
and seeing that brought like a single like drop into this vast chasm of emptiness that was my heart.
Yeah. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm not a particularly active comic book reader, so I've saved myself that trouble. But I will say it was very nice to see Peter happy and with a family, bro. Um, and that's also the reason he has Mayday. Also, kind of makes me believe that like Miguel is, even if he's not lying intentionally, it makes me think that his whole like you're an anomaly. Everything you do is like messing up the multiverse. It's like,
It's like, wait, is that a happy Peter Parker? Hold up, that's the real anomaly
I
here.
mean, there's that, but it's also like bro just straight up said, "Yo, Miles, I wouldn't even got back with MJ or had Mayday like if I didn't meet you." It's like,
Yeah,
so is Mayday an anomaly? Is like what's going on? Where does it start and where does it end? And
yeah.
I'm a little bit suspicious of this Miguel O'Hara guy. All right, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, just great movie. Hate the AM,
Oh,
hate the PM.
yep.
Hard as
Oh,
fuck, bro.
yep.
It's such a funny line.
Also, I
Yeah.
just noticed another small little foil like parallel between Miles and Miguel, and that they're both like biracial. So I think that's pretty cool.
Mm. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um.
He's
Yep.
half
Miles
Irish
tried to.
though, so.
Yeah. Miles tried to tap in with Miguel,
Mm-hmm.
bro. He tried to really like, he tried to make a connection, and Miguel wasn't having it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
that's
actually,
unfortunate.
Lando reminds me of something that I found utterly hilarious.
Hmm.
When you were hearing Miguel's explanation of everything, right, and he mentioned like the no captains thing, did you also think,
Hmm.
man, that's really specific? So if my dad just leaves the police force, is that like, is that does that check the box? Like, or we swear, like, like,
Yeah.
what if he gets promoted again? Is it specifically the rank of captain?
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I think the second movie is going to reveal some flaws or incorrect assessments and assumptions in his thing because it just seems so arbitrary, right? The canon, like if this is really what you're saying and like it's only this thing that is able to like destabilize the entire multiverse, why is it as fickle as if he decides he doesn't want to be captain anymore, he won't die? And then yeah, I don't know. Um
yeah, it's very
yeah.
odd because then it was like loosely confirmed by the conversation with Gwen and her dad, where she was like, "Oh wait, you're not.
Mm.
Oh, oh, poggers, let's go.
She's like, I was just ready for you to die.
Yeah, I made my peace with it and everything. I was here to like look at you one last time. Like, I wasn't gonna show up at the funeral, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wasn't going to show up at the funeral. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, I realized it was the first time I'd been to a movie theater. I think no, the second time I've been to a movie theater in like the last 3 years, and I wasted one of these trips on Multiverse of Madness. I did see Spider-Man: No Way Home, so I guess that counts. Yeah, three in the last 2 years. It's pretty good. How do I feel about them all being Marvel movies? Cross that bridge when we get to it emotionally, right?
You're what Scorsese was talking about.
I know. I'm the problem.
Yeah, so we're moving on from Spider-Man. You're good. But yeah, good. Now,
speaking of good,
time to talk about some nerd shit. No more cool action movies. It's time to talk about books, guys. You like books? Okay, so the series that we were assigned to read was the One Punch Man webcomic, respectively, and Hell's Paradise. Now, I finished the webcomic during my week, so I'm going to talk about it. Kreams is going to grill me about my thoughts about the webcomic.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll do the same with Hell's Paradise and all that. So, I guess spoiler warning / not fully for Hell's Paradise because Kreams isn't fully caught up. But I will say, if you've been an enemy only or if you're very, very cautious about spoilers, when Kreams starts talking, tune him out. It's what I always do. But yeah, you can go ahead and start with One Punch Man. Same thing for One Punch Man because I'm talking about the webcomic.
Yeah. Full spoilers for both series ahead.
Yep.
Okay. Don't know where to start. Okay. I'll start with. Do you want to start with the first 50 chapters or the last 50 chapters?
The first 50 chapters were I know you're a One Punch Man fan, bro, so I'm trying to figure out how to politely say this. Oh, it was a waste of my time, bro. I could have just started. I feel like this. I could have started from chapter 50, and I would have lost 0. That is how I feel because it is almost literally right. Maybe with some very, very, very minor discrepancies.
I mean,
page for page, panel for panel, dialogue for dialogue, damn near.
While I don't disagree, like, okay, keep in mind it's the 50 chapters of the webcomic are part of the grand vision of like, all right, I need you to understand the different pacing as well from the start, right? Like, so there's no tournament arc, right? That's like a big difference, right? So there's no lubricant between like the Monster Association infiltration. There's less of a quote unquote cause as there is in the manga for them to like really start the wheel with the hostage and all that crap. And there's also what was the other difference? Oh my god, I'm a fraud. Oh my god, why can't I remember the other difference? I even texted it to you.
Did you? I don't remember none of it.
Anyway, that's like the big difference.
Yeah. Okay. One Punch Man webcomic monster arc or Monster Association's arc ending greater than I agree with that. I think in general, I think part of my opinion on the One Punch Man like Monster Association arc is kind of tainted by the fact that like that shit just went on for so long and a lot of the chapters were just so boring, like on a monthly or semi-monthly basis.
I agree.
That like it that like the arc is fine, it just doesn't hit all that well. But the webcomic arc is better both in concept and in execution for me, like for what it does for Gaara.
You've jumped ship. Okay, so that kind of answers the big question that there's a schism right in the One Punch Man community regarding the handling of the Monster Association arc, and I was curious where you fell after reading the webcomic.
Yeah, so I'll put it. It's kind of tough because it's kind of like my opinion, like somewhere in the middle. It's like this, right? The manga starts off like the first half of Gaara's character arc. I think is significantly more interesting in the manga.
Same.
I think he comes off more charismatic. I think his fights, obviously, you get a little bit more focused. He goes through these characters a little bit more, so we spend more time with Gaara as a character. So he just ends up being a more interesting antagonist. In the webcomic, he's fine. But like in the manga, he was he stood out as a particularly interesting guy. Yeah. But the latter half, like, I think it's kind of post Darkshine fight and on is where manga Gaara just loses me, bro. I'm just disinterested. And to me, the webcomic kind of took that baton, picked that shit up, and just took it to the end. because I really like the way it ends.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Saitama kind of just being like, dude, what are you doing? What are we? This monster shit, like, you took the easy way out, bro. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're a bum. I don't know what to tell you. You're a scrub.
Yeah,
So
I enjoy the philosophy of the ending of the webcomic more than. But here's the problem, right? I really like the Garo Saitama fight, and I really love the art that Murata drew, especially the color pages with the sneeze and Jupiter and all that. And I also love the panel where like Saitama's bathing in like Genos's like blood oil thing. I just think those are raw, right? I think you agree generally, right?
yeah, I think I generally agree.
But I think I like the I think I also fall somewhere in the middle where I think you can enjoy both of these things simultaneously, right? Like I think they could only really enhance the experience of the other. More so in that like there is a place realistically for either of them to work, if that makes sense, right? Like the manga takes itself a little bit more seriously, which I appreciate, right? I think there's room for that, and I think Murata's art like definitely lends itself well to that interpretation. But I think the webcomic lends itself more to like the comedic like aspect of One Punch Man, like that it's had at the start.
Yeah, it's definitely funnier.
Yeah. Oh god, it's so fucking funny in the web. Like you dude. Yes. Okay. I want to ask you about the comedy in a second, but like I think they both do different things, but I think they both do these different things well, but they're not so different that it's like whiplash. I mean, that's my opinion. All right, so like, I don't know if yours is different.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's whiplash at all. Because, like I said, like even in the Monster Association arc, the general plot beats are it's the same story, right? So obviously, the plot beats up to that point are going to be very similar. There are like a lot of fights that just don't happen though. Like the Phoenix fight is when I remember, and I was like, thank God, bro. That fight was so nothing to me.
Wait,
So
the
I
original
like
or the redraws?
Either one.
The
Neither of them
redraws
were very.
no, the redraws
Like
were shorter, and they had Saitama in there. It was more fun.
I mean, like Yusuke Murata, he certainly drew some shit, right? Like I'll put it like that. There was art on a page, and there was art on a page. But I don't feel like I feel like that it just wasn't necessary for the pacing, for like the general flow of everything. So I like how we just kind of got to the important shit quicker. That little one-eyed monster, I don't think is in the webcomic at all.
Yeah, Monako isn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, another thank God, bro, because it's just like
I love
to me,
Monako. No.
bro, I don't care about that guy, man. He's like all he was an obstacle for pacing, bro. He was just like a reason for Saitama and Flashy Flash just stay buried under the rubble for like 2-3 more chapters. And you have to put it in this perspective. 2 or 3 more chapters is probably the better part of a year when you're actively reading it. So that guy,
don't pull on me like that. Also, Monaco's a female.
Oh, that girl,
yeah,
is the obstacle for
they
progress
had a
for damn near a
too,
year.
which is really funny.
Fair enough, bro. I just didn't remember.
No, it's fine. But yeah, I get because I enjoyed Monaco's like presence there a lot. I think it added a lot to the comedy, and I like. Okay, you can't tell me you didn't like let out a chuckle when she used her flashlight with Saitama's head for indirect lighting.
I don't know how to tell you this, bro.
Oh.
Listen, the One Punch Man manga is not funny at all. Like zero funny. Maybe outside of like or very, very. No. I'm talking about the manga.
Oh, okay.
So when I say the webcomic is funnier, right? Because it just has like the bare minimum. I think it has a little bit more than the bare minimum to give it some credit, right? But it at least has the bare minimum, like basic semblances of being somewhat funny. I think the manga is just like not funny at all. So like characters that are more focused on being a gag, to me, right, just don't hit because Yusuke Murata is not very good. Or at least not as competent as one with the comedic timing. I'll say like the anime probably sits somewhere in between, where it's like it's not as funny as the webcomic, but I think it's a little bit funnier than the manga, even though it obviously covers the same events. I just think like the animation, music, voice acting lends credence to that. But yeah, so gag characters like one-eyed monster girl.
King's,
not really my thing.
Dude, the King's moment in the manga is like a special one to me though, where like he's facing down all these dragon level threats, and he's like, "All right, if I beg for my life, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. The webcomic had me fooled for a second when he pulled out like that massive ass
Yeah.
blast. I was like, well, hold on. I'm sorry. Did he just? Like for a second, I thought it was almost like a partial monsterization, where like
Yep. Where
his
he
obsession with getting stronger or something like that would like help him, or like his
uh
fear. So, but then it was like, oh, okay, that's not real. I'm like, I'm kind of glad that's not real, but that would also have been absolutely ridiculous if he just willed himself to be like that.
Dude,
But yeah,
King's my favorite character in One Punch Man, next to like Saitama. I absolutely love him, and in the webcomic, he's just as amazing.
yeah.
So I'm glad you enjoy him. See,
Real quick,
yeah.
I want to say something. Apostle said the only king I know is Baro, and I gotta tell you, that is some elite glazing, bro. That is some elite. It just caught my eye when I saw it, bro. Like Ness
Ness
looks
should
up
take
to
some
you.
lessons, yeah.
He looks up to you for form, bro. He wants to know how to be exactly like you, because that was just insane, bro. Get up
Professional.
off your knees, all right?
Actually, that's
Take
a
in
good.
some air.
Yeah, I didn't see a Blue Lock chapter drop today, so I
No
guess.
break. It's on a break.
Fucking.
We knew that last week.
I know. It just
It literally
it's so
said,
irritating. Like, bro, take your break like next month. You know, like just don't like. Are you cooperating with Gege? Are y'all conspiring against me?
Maybe.
God.
But yeah. I mean, well, to be fair, like the break, he's gonna have a Blue Luck chapter when Gege's not having a chapter. You know what I mean?
I guess,
So
but like that just ties the
to me,
score, sort of. You know.
that's the best of both worlds. Not the best of both worlds, because the best of both worlds is having both chapters. But
Yeah.
like, if you're gonna take a break, alternating is probably the best bet. So like, listen, bro, no JJK and no Blue Luck is crazy.
Oh
So
yeah, no, that's just a drought.
I need one
Yeah.
or the other. I need one or the other. Thank you. But yeah, the webcomic, I will say, it is a marginally better total product in my opinion,
Ooh,
than the
better.
manga.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess this leads into the big question, which is all the material past the Monster Association arc.
Hmm.
Wait, actually, real quick, did you miss the tournament arc? Like, did you not enjoy it? Did you not? Did you feel its absence?
Not really. The only thing was like, and I can't remember his name, even though he's in the new arc, martial arts guy, the one that fights Saitama, Seiryu or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his
I
name?
think it's Siri. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. I liked him in the martial arts arc. Like
Yeah.
he's a cool guy. I like
Yeah.
people who just like throwing hands. But
And not only that,
because
like,
he was introduced later,
and
I'm like, oh, I don't
yeah,
feel like I
it's
missed
awkward.
much.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some different canon things happening. Like Dr. Kuseno, first of all, he has a different name. It's Dr. Stench in the webcomic. But
Yeah, I didn't even
yeah,
peep that.
he didn't go to the hot pot like he did in the manga, so he's actually missing from
Mm,
that panel. And his meeting with Saitama happened during the events in the
yeah.
webcomic, like recent
Hmm.
in the last couple of chapters. And the thing with Tsuryu in the webcomic is that it feels awkward to see him again because if you
Yeah.
have the manga in mind, you're like, oh yeah, this is the character like who had
We've
gone through
seen
all,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, and then you see him and like he doesn't react to
He act.
Saitama,
Yeah.
like, and it's very
Yeah.
jarring, right? He's just like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, like his sister is like meeting up with Saitama and like all this stuff, and you'd think, like off rip, oh wow, he's gonna be like, wait, I know that guy, hey master or whatever, like on his
Yeah.
Genos shit, right? And no,
Hmm.
no, he's just the guy he just met. I'm just like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's like, huh,
Yeah. You just have to consider that the canon is just completely different.
yeah,
At least to some extent. Um, but yeah, I liked it. One thing I liked, and maybe I'm fucking smoking on this one, but it feels like Genos just replicated early Saitama's like feat when he like stops the punch or whatever.
mm-hmm,
Just a small detail because that was one of the relatively newer chapters that I saw,
mm-hmm,
and it kind of felt pretty sad when he's like, and bro, I don't even, over all this time, I don't even feel like I've gotten any stronger, and you
yeah,
can just. And you can
mm-hmm.
just see, like, no, bro, like, trust me, you were not on this time before. I promise
Yep.
you,
I mean,
you were
Saitama.
not.
King said it
Yeah,
best himself. Don't use Saitama as like a benchmark for your success, bro.
yeah.
He's not
You
gonna
will always
notice.
be
Yeah.
disappointed. Yeah.
As
Um.
a master and as like a person to aspire to, he sucks at both. Genos is just
Yeah.
like, would you call what Genos does glazing? Because like Saitama like cares for him, right? So like,
It's kind of it's so the thing is it's kind of tough, right?
mhm.
Like because to me to glaze you have to you have to either the person either has to not care about you at all,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or what you're saying has to be blown way out of proportion, right?
Right.
And Genos doesn't really fit either because, like, yeah, Saitama will body everybody he says he'll body, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, Saitama does kind of care about him, but it's like he fulfills, like, in terms of what he says, everything else feels like what you would need to be a top tier elite dick eater, bro. Like it's just.
Yeah.
But it's just like because Saitama cares about him, and because Saitama is really fucking him, it's almost like saying like, "Oh my god, bro, Yuta's glazing. He's glazing Gojo." It's like, well, here's the thing, right? Like Gojo is actually that strong, though. Like that's the problem. Like what you're saying, crazy, right? Like please breathe air, but also you're not wrong. So it's you're kind of in a weird position.
Yeah. 100%. It's something that I've always thought about, but I'm like, no, like. The love is there, right? You know, especially in the manga. I mean, if Saitama's like willing to hold his heart while fighting one-handed on Jupiter, it's like, I mean, yeah, bro, he likes you, you know, like.
Yeah, but I think he rocks with you, bro. I think he rocks with you. I think he thinks you guys are cool. Webcomic Saitama does seem to care less.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Webcomic Saitama is definitely more of a prick, which I find like, funny in its own way. Because there's this conversation, I don't know if you like clocked it, right? But they were in Stench's lab. I'm gonna call him by his biblically accurate name, right? If you don't mind.
Biblically accurate, okay.
Okay. So he's talking to Genos about the Mad Cyborg, right? And Saitama like poses a very honest, very like real question, and he's like, "Hey man, you want me to do it? Like, like no offense."
He's an asshole, bro. Like he's an asshole because he's like it might even be tough for you, and he's like, well, how are you gonna get it done then? And it's like, bro, you're such an asshole. Like just
you're right.
be there to help. Just be there to help your friend if he messes up, bro. Like have you considered that?
Like, he's an asshole, but he's nowhere near out of line. Like that is a I'd have that reaction, right? It's like,
and you're an asshole, bro.
Yeah,
that's what this conversation is confirmed right now.
You didn't have the same thought.
No.
When Jonas is like, oh yeah, like what if it might be too tough for you? You didn't think, oh wait, then it's over for
Genos
you, right?
Genos just gotta pull into his bag, bro, and cook something up. That's all I'm saying, bro. Genos can get it. Listen, all I'm saying is this, right? If every loss so far has just been for him to get this one real, meaningful victory, I'm satisfied. It'll probably be a gag. He'll probably get one shot. Or it'll be painfully weak. But if it's an actual meaningful fight and Genos just pulls through because he actually just got stronger, like mentally and in terms of like all of his actual like physical abilities, I guess mechanical abilities, I will be happy. I'm not saying Saitama's necessarily wrong in his thinking. However, immediately having that reaction as someone's like, yeah, no, I've dedicated the last 4 years of my life to this. And you're like, it's not happening. Insane.
Uh-huh.
Insane. Just crazy, bro. Just crazy.
Like, I mean, yeah, but okay. To Genos's like, I don't know, credit, defense, whatever the word is. They did pull up like in the next chapter, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and bro handled it.
Barely. Yeah.
He got he clutched. He got jumped and clutched it, bro. Like he handled it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here's the problem, right? I'm worried about Genos right now. Okay. Stench is dead, so this is it. This is the last upgrade. All right.
Nah, bro. I'm waiting for Genos to break his limiter. All right. That's all I'm waiting for.
Bro, he has no body. He is a brain in a metal tube.
Hey, you're not listening. That's what you just said right there. Sounds like a limit, bro.
Oh my god.
Like dead ass. Like Saitama's just a dude, right? Like just a normal, regular guy. He did the most regular, maybe somewhat more intense than like normal workout routine, right? For a couple of years, and he's him right now. Are we really gonna say that the mechanically enhanced, revenge-fueled death robot can't clutch something up, bro? Like, come on now. Some guy turned bald and then became One Punch Man.
Yep.
Limit. Just break the limits, bro. Black Clover shit. Let's do it. Let's just cook something, bro. Come on now.
Fine. I'm not okay, look. I don't think Genos is going to die, right? Saitama's right there. I think it's more like, hey man, I don't want to be this guy, right? But what if, and hear me out, don't reject Saitama's offer like off rip, you know? And it's good that he didn't, right? It's good that they came to a compromise where he's like, all right, look, bro, I trust you. This is all you. But in the likely, I mean, you know, in the likely event that you lose, I'll just step in and finish. Cool.
Like, all Saitama has to say is, I will be there to support you. And literally, it encompasses everything. Like, he does not have to diminish Genos's 4-year-long dream, bro.
So, okay.
Like, you give your hopes and dreams, right?
Do
like,
you
bro,
hate
listen,
Saitama, like,
I'm applying.
in the webcomic? Or
I mean, he's a very unlikable person. I don't hate his character though, but he's not like he's a very he's like dumb and mean, which is fine. It's funny, but you know, because I like Genos, this character interaction was not to my liking personally. But yeah, but like I understand that this Saitama is also not a good friend at all, or generally speaking, a good person. He doesn't seem to develop wholly in that manner. He's just kind of put in circumstances and decides if he wants to stick to them or not.
Okay.
But yeah.
Let's see. I think. Oh yes, there is one more thing I wanted to ask you. The whole Cyborg war and Amai mask thing.
It was cool. Saw a little arc. Yeah. I guess. And
I'll tell you right now, specific? I think Amai Mask is like one of my favorite characters, right? In no small part because of like his interaction with Saitama in the webcomic. And I'm curious what you thought about it, right? Sort of his plight, his philosophy, his end? I don't know. Like,
I imagine he's still going to be part of the story moving forward, but
it was very sad, you know, like hearing and seeing what happened to him.
You mean like getting rejected by everybody? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but also, you know, him not being able to like being
reform.
and being outed as a monster, and the fact that like he was really trying to hold on to his humanity, like really hard, but he couldn't do it, and he was sort of almost
he couldn't do it and be a hero.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's something about that that I find like very tragic in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it is tragic. But yeah, I mean, I think My Mask is cool. He's probably not one of my favorites personally. But that's not like due to no particular failing of his own. He just doesn't clear the illustrious Ronin checklist of goats, you know what I mean? It's a very hard spot to get in. Like plenty of characters have tried in One Punch Man.
Yeah. It could
Garo and Genos. That's it.
Okay. Some small notes here before we transition into Hell's Paradise. Did you notice that Blast hasn't been revealed yet in the webcomic?
Yes, I did. I did notice that, and I pray to God that if they do reveal him, they don't make him like just a dragon level threat, bro. Because him coming in and being like, God, I can't do anything here is like, hey, bro.
Like, aren't you?
Come on, man.
Yeah,
you're the #1 hero, bro. Do something about this.
And like his like Justice League is like, oh yeah, all we can do is like contain the force, and it's like,
yeah, it's like,
bro, aren't you supposed to be fighting God?
Yeah, what are we doing? Like, listen, bro, you can't be in the same league as Tatsumaki. Like, you guys can't be comparable in strength. Come on.
Tatsumaki would have handled Platinum S, is all I'm saying. You know.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Angel Access, thank you for the 5. About to see Spider-Verse. Ronin gonna be proud of the racism. I think he meant Kreams, but you know, typos happen. Hope you enjoy it, man. Hope you enjoy it. But yeah, One Punch Man webcomic.
Oh, what'd you think of the art?
Solid.
That's the big one. Yeah, I said this thing too, and I'm curious if you looked out for it. I said, it is creepy how inversed the experiences are art-wise for the webcomic and the manga, because it's technically awful, but like the paneling is fucking crazy. and the
I'll
inverse is true of the
say
manga.
I'll say for how bad one is at drawing, he's very good at drawing.
It's weird,
Um,
right? Like especially in the
it
later chapters, like he's really like his composition is
yeah,
like
I
great.
think he's I think what one has is like honestly the most necessary ability when it comes to drawing like sequential art specifically.
Mm-hmm.
It's making sure that even if like, oh my god, you don't create a pretty picture, what these characters are doing and how they're moving in space is always clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's never not clear. I always know what's happening. And that is like as long as the art isn't really impeding on that, the score is going to at least be neutral. But I think one does a pretty good job. He's Gamerata could learn a thing or two.
It's a bold word. Bold words. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Overall review.
Pretty solid, like 7 out of 10. Um,
Oof.
yeah, pretty good.
Cool. You excited for the what's it called, the cyber arc and the Neo Heroes thing? And what'd you think of Blue? I think he's in
Uh,
there. Yeah.
yeah, Blue's fine, I guess. I don't have very like particular thoughts on him. I mean, for Blast Sun, he seems like a bum a lot, bro. Like, come on, what are you doing? But he's all right, I guess. No particular thoughts one way or another.
Okay.
Metal Bat is significantly less cooler in the webcomic. I will say that. That's just one thing that popped into my mind when I was thinking about that
I
that
mean, he did
final arc.
just like break out of the chains basically, like effortlessly.
I mean, yeah, but that don't really compare to like fighting Garo and
I know,
like doing some
yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah. He was crazy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, bro! I broke out of chains. Like, all right, bro, get in
Um,
line.
do you agree with the sentiment that the webcomic and manga combo is like a nice give and take for like a One Punch Man experience?
Um, I mean, I guess so. Like, I'll put it like this: if you're like very, very enamored, right? If you're one of those people,
You
who
know I am.
I know, I'm
Oh,
more talking to the general public, not you,
oh,
right? I mean, for the people listening, curious, right? If you're someone who like genuinely really loves One Punch Man, either in the anime or the manga, the webcomic is worth reading. Just pick it up at chapter 50.
yep.
But if you aren't, right? Like if you're like me and you're like, it's a good series, um, and that's it. Just read the webcomic unless you're a stickler for art. If you're a stickler for art, you can wait 4 months for the next One Punch Man chapter like the rest of us or whatever. But the
Hmm.
webcomic is um sufficient enough in like telling the story and in my opinion overall a better product.
Nice, nice, nice. Does that mean wait? What score do you have the manga at then? If the webcomic's a 7,
I don't like a 6.5. It's not like a huge difference, but
I feel like you personally slighted me, but I'm gonna try to put that.
hey, bro, what you want me to like? Listen, if you skip Murata could draw, never mind. I'm not gonna fight that battle today. I just, no, not today.
Anyway,
Anyways,
yeah.
Hell's Paradise,
Yep.
bro.
Hell's
Um,
Paradise. Yep. Lay it on
okay,
me.
so how do you feel about the like? So I'm curious, right? Because I'm someone who like thinks the first chapter is really good,
Mm,
like a particularly good introduction to the series, to the world, right, or to the
okay.
tone. How do you feel the first chapter was in terms of like getting you invested? Like, did you feel like you needed to let it cook? Were you already interested from the beginning? Talk to me.
So I got into it like pretty much off rip,
Hmm.
which I was really surprised by. I'm usually a lot more hostile isn't the right word, but like apprehensive about like getting into a new series. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It's just like a mental barrier of like, oh, it's unfamiliar, right?
Hmm.
But I got into it relatively quickly, which I appreciated. That it just got me through the door fast enough to like care about the story, the premise, and kind of be sold on Gabimaru as a protagonist.
Hmm.
Um, I think what really blew me away was the art, though. Like just to be
Yeah.
honest with you, I was I read some chapters of was it Ayashimon, right? His
Yeah.
sequel series, Yujikaku's like the series he made after Hell's Paradise. I
Hmm.
wasn't like I wasn't happy with it, so I was
Hmm.
really like I was blown away with how good the art was in Hell's Paradise, and I was like, whoa, are those straight lines with backgrounds? I didn't know he could do that. Sorry,
So
bro.
I didn't know he could do that.
I don't like
Um.
I don't know what I think what it was like all right, he has to like, this had better be an apology for Ayashimon for me. But that was like part of the thing that I wanted from the series, like going into it.
This better be. You're an interesting guy, but okay, continue.
And
Um,
I was like going through. I finished the first volume. And I was like, all right, sold. Um,
sold. Fair enough.
yeah, I mean they were there, you know, hands tied and like with the paper over their faces, and they're like, all right, so gotta reduce the numbers. Have
Get
at
to
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So I guess that kind of speaks to the art. I'll ask you this, right?
Mm.
Just while we're on the topic. JJK, Chainsaw Man, Hell's Paradise. I've seen them compared, right?
It's
I'm
the Dark
curious.
Trio.
The Dark Trio, yes sir, yes sir. If you're looking at their art exclusively, right? And you're looking at, you know, who is the most capable artist or just one that you prefer, right? Like, who would you say? Just rank them for me. I'm curious how those three shake out. Mainly because I'm curious where Yuji Kaku stays. Just artistry.
Okay, just artistry. And the paneling is a part of this. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that relates to like the visuals, basically.
Yuji Kaku is number one. Then Gege.
Okay.
Then Fujimoto. And you might.
Interesting.
It's not even that Fujimoto is like the worst. He's just. He's got the most. They're all unique, right? His is more. God, how do I say this and not make it sound like I hate the art? Fuck, because I love Fujimoto's art, right? That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the worst. He's just the least best, right? Like that is.
Oh god, bro! Just say it with your chest. Say he's the worst.
He's not.
Stinks.
Like out of those three,
pushing, bro.
right? Okay, out of those three, he is like the other two are just better, right? So it's not a rip on him; it's a praise on them, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Right?
What does Yuji Kaku do better than Gege to make you say that? I'm curious. Like, talk to me here. What is it about it that's more compelling?
Movement, detail.
Movement.
Hold on.
That's something. Okay.
Movement, like. I know it's gonna sound stupid, like movement in like still images, right? Like there's something about like the double spreads and the landscapes that just feel so fucking alive in his art in a way that like Gege's doesn't really compare to.
I agree. His landscapes are really well drawn.
Right.
I agree.
Like,
he sets a fucking scene.
Yeah, like that's the best way to phrase it. Like when I look at Yuji Kaku's art, especially like still paintings, and this like a byproduct of fights or whatever, right? I feel moved by the art, right? Like the art itself is like something to behold and admire. You know, it's I am marveled by it, right?
Yeah.
In a similar way as like I am marveled by like Murata's technical ability, right? You just like you know that thing with Jupiter. You ever just look at that and you're like, man, he drew that from scratch, you know? Like it's technically amazing.
Not at all. But you know,
none of it
will get you out of there.
Oh, brother. Anyway,
no, but I think I agree with you. I remember when we were doing that art tier list that is still in the vault to this day. The second one, bro. The second one. The you know, the I don't know, maybe the second recording of it. I don't fucking know. But like, I remember when we were doing it, you know, you weren't familiar with his art, and I showed you like some of his art, and you're like, it's cool. And I showed you a volume cover, and you're like, all right, hold on now.
Yeah. Oh my god,
this
dude.
guy kind of cooks, bro.
Volume cover game, it's washed. Like the other two, they will.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a dream that they will have a better cover. Like, you know what I mean?
I agree. And the thing is about Yuji Kaku is like he has no misses. Fujimoto and Gege both have some very questionable manga volume covers, bro. So
there isn't a single. Yeah, they're all stunning, color wise, composition wise. Jeez, dude. So like my problem, I guess, with Fujimoto's quote unquote art style is that it's very cinematic, but it's not consistently cinematic. So like not every single chapter of like Chainsaw Man, for example, is done in like a Goodbye Eri kind of way, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where I'm coming from with it. With Gege, it's like, yeah, no, he has the ability to draw. He draws like fights like the best, I think, and he draws double spreads with good proficiency. Just solid. You know, he's a good like middle person,
middle ground. Yeah, I feel that makes sense. Yeah, that's a tough one for me. But yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad you're liking the art at least. Glad you're liking the art.
I will say, this is kind of an offshoot. I do think if I had to rank the covers though,
Mhm.
Yujikaku, then Fujimoto, then Gege, because Gege, God bless him, he can't do it. I don't know what it is. He just forgets how to draw with the covers sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, maybe.
it's
I don't know. Like,
kind of crazy, bro. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pitch you with your quick. I promise we'll get right back on track, right?
okay,
I
okay.
feel like even though Gege is not my least favorite artist
Mm,
of the three, he is the one that I would say conventionally is by far the worst. He
yeah.
has, in my opinion, like if you were to like look at their like basic stats, right?
Mm,
Like you were breaking it down like an athlete or something, right? Like he has lowest in most of those categories. But for some reason, bro, something about it just it allows him to fucking like weasel his way out of what I feel like his technical ability should be. Because like I don't have him last. I don't know if I have him first, but I know for a fact I don't have him last.
mm,
Um, so
yeah.
it's yeah, it definitely it's interesting that you mentioned that because like a volume cover I think is a pretty decent gauge for what an artist can do with time.
Mm.
And I do agree that I think Gege on average has worse volume covers or the worst
No,
of the
he is
three.
consistently worse. Like I'm just saying, like band for band, he is not doing
I said band for band.
he's just not, bro.
Gege's getting bodied, bro.
Like even
Yeah, no, I agree. I
God,
agree.
it's
I
just
agree.
bro, okay. There's this one cover that's like it's not the worst one in my opinion, but it is one that like sort of exemplifies this point where I'm like, no, he clearly forgot how to draw his own characters when he has to draw volume covers. You know that one with Ishigori where his like torso is just kind of fucked up in a way?
Blocky, you mean?
Yeah. It just looks like that
Yeah,
Captain America drawing a little bit.
yeah.
It
Jesus.
it's
There
just
are so many worse ones to pull. Like, listen,
I
bro.
know,
You
but
you want a bad one? Pull up Toto or Yuki's cover, bro.
I know, but
God,
just
Gege, do
dude,
something, man. Cook, bro. No, anyways, but yeah, no, I agree.
dude, the
I agree.
Kashima one was so wild. Like finding out that he had teal hair.
Yeah, you can tell he's colorblind. Like, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I'm gonna be fully honest. I gaslit myself into liking it, but my initial reaction was confusion.
It's
It
bro.
was confusion, bro.
Let somebody
Because
else do the covers, bro.
it's so annoying because like he has really good covers, right?
Mm,
He'll have like volume 11, he'll have like volume 14, he'll have volume 8. That's
mm,
like Nanami's, Toji's, Sukuna's, Joso's, like
mm.
bangers, right? And then he'll hit a stinker. But we have Toto's cover. I'm like, oh my god, bro. Then we have Mei's cover, and it's like,
That
dude, what are we doing? Mei's cover is so not good to me. I don't like it at
it's
all,
I
bro.
like Mimi's cover more than I like Ishigori's, more than I like Kashimo's.
And I know why, bro. Listen, no,
Look,
you're not gonna fool me.
look,
I
bro.
know why.
To be honest with you, it's also weirdly one of his more creative covers because she's like the dollar bill in her mouth and she's not like in her typical like hair setup. Like he took some
Naked lady
liberties.
creative.
I just
Listen, bro. I think it's personally not one of my favorites. I think Gege is most in his bag, bro. Don't get me started about that. You know what really grinds my gears?
mm,
Megumi does not have a good volume cover, bro, because he drew this shit when he was still
like
not at his peak,
peak,
and it's
yeah.
just not good.
Bro,
It's just not good looking.
I'm hoping he doesn't fumble with the Megana cover. I'm praying. Oh my god, I just shuddered at the thought that he might make it a Yorozu cover. Oh my god, dude. Whew.
Bro, well, you're a Rosie fan. Wouldn't you be happy about that?
Dude, not that much. Not a cover's worth. Let's
Not a cover's worth. I'm not a cover's worth a fan. Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, let's get back to it. All right,
yeah.
so I want to talk about Gabimaru and Sagiri in a bit.
Hmm?
What chapter are you on? Just so I don't want to like fucking spoil anything for you.
46. I've just finished
46.
volume 5. I'm going by physical volumes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 46, 46. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure I check in on what the hell I can't say. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So how do you feel about all the other characters barring Sagiri and Gabimaru? Because I want to talk about them. They're obviously gonna be kind of the main focus. How do you feel about the side cast so far?
Really enjoying them. I like
Mhm,
this small pool. Because it first of all, I know the story's shorter, so like having the
mhm,
smaller pool, lets all these characters get developed way more than I think typical side characters would have in a
mhm,
story like about its size, right?
mhm,
Um, and I I don't know how to describe it. I don't love them, but I really like all of them, right?
mhm,
So it's sort of like I typically love one or two side characters, but like for this one, it's sort of like the love is more evenly spaced out between all the other characters,
mhm.
and it just makes for a more pleasurable read, I think, consistently.
Yes, sir. You'd love to see it, bro. That's the correct answer. All right. I just
Wow.
want to let you know that's the correct answer. Um, outside of I'll kind of let this question drag on for Ben until those, you get the heat off you. Um, outside of like
Mhm.
Sagiri and Gabimaru, because I think, unless you throw me for a loop, I think those are most likely to be the ones that
Yeah.
you favor the most.
Yeah.
Who would you say your favorite of these are?
Gabimaru.
Um, wow, bro, did not listen to the question one bit.
Oh.
Aside from Gabimaru and
Oh,
Sagiri,
aside from. Okay.
um, yeah, like the cast we were talking about before, like who would you say is your favorite?
Ooh. Um. This is kind of a late throw in the rock
Mm-hmm.
paper scissors game here, but I kind of like that guy who's like the samurai that slacks off.
Mm. Do you? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how that evolves. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how that evolves over time.
Uh,
But yeah, fair pick, fair pick. Yeah. All right. Now,
mm,
obviously, we got to talk about the main two, Gabimaru and Sagiri. What do you think? How do you feel about them? Let me know your thoughts, bro.
Samurai guy is a good runner up, the big one.
Yeah. Oh, Gentetsu side.
Yeah,
Gentetsu
yeah,
side's
yeah.
cool.
Um.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah.
so how do I? Okay, so I really like both of them. Like really like both of them. I think Yuji Kaku like just cooked with both of their characters. I
Mm,
think I like Gabimaru a little bit more for a very like shallow reason.
cooler.
Not only that, right? He's just married. Like
He's just married.
bro, like there's no like coveting of, there's no like there's no romantic tension really as far as like my reading. I could be like,
Mm,
blind to it or whatever between him and Sagiri. So it is like platonic, right?
mm,
And the fact that like he isn't, he rejects advances, albeit like they could be fake, like they are fake, but like I still
mm.
appreciate that he is like a married
Get
man.
off of me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm married. Get off of me.
me,
I
I'm
got a
married.
girl,
Yeah,
bro. Leave me alone.
I just like, when you don't realize something until like you see it or you experience it for the first
Hmm.
time, and you're like, oh wait, I don't see this. They're all
Yeah,
single. Like all these fucking, like all these protagonists are either like
all the time. Always.
asexual or like, uh, eh, huh? It's
Yep.
just, yeah,
Horny
God.
and wanting.
Yep.
It's one or the other. And Gamaru's like, no, bro. Literally, my motivation is to get back to my wife.
Yeah, my
I'm
wife.
literally going. I'm going to this island with all these different creatures. I don't care. When am I gonna get to see my wife, bro?
Yep.
When does she
Like,
get back? When
yeah,
do I get back home?
and that actually, that's what sold me on the manga. That was the exact line. It was like, wait, Gabimaru, you love your wife, don't you? I was like,
He was
oh, I'm
pissed.
locked in,
He was like,
bro.
he's like, don't you, bro? I'm hollow. Who do you think you're talking to? What do you mean? I don't love anybody, bro. I just kill people, and
Dude.
I just
Yep.
okay. Yep.
Yeah. So
I'm
like, I just love a committed husband, I guess, bro. Like, I guess that was something I didn't know that I liked, but here we are.
yeah. Over the poet. Thank you for the two. Creams hating on
God.
women you hate to see you. Hey, bro, listen, you got to counter this with some Sagiri praise. All right, go ahead, go cook.
Love Sagiri's entire character, to be honest with you. Her powers, her like her sort of like half, not even half, like her embracing her own femininity at without like costing her
Power.
courage, yeah, or her power. I just really appreciate it, right? So she's not this like overly stoic kind of like Bushido abiding samurai, right? And she's like still nurturing, and it's just like, yo, go off. Don't let anybody
Is
tell
there
you how to
any?
live.
Cause there ain't a contradiction, bro.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. You
And
fucking.
dude, and how
I
it
was
ties
scared
into
if
the
you were gonna
power
get it or
system.
not.
Oh my god, let's
These are
go.
all the right answers. These are all the right answers. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, bro. Yeah, I really, like, I am very interested. I'm gonna pull a you, right?
Mhm.
I watched your Breaking Bad video.
Ooh, yeah.
I want you to watch my Hell's Paradise Will Make You Stronger video because
Mhm.
it's not spoilers for anything that you've seen.
Mhm.
Um, and I just kind of talk about like the themes and blah 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 whatever, right?
Right.
But I do really agree with you, and like I like how I always like it when a power system ties very deeply into how the characters are written or like
Mhm.
the general themes.
Right.
And Gabimaru and Sagiri both being like, hold on, me trying to force being this like hardened person has the opposite effect. Um, like
Dude,
let me
embracing
try
weakness. Oh
embrace it. Yeah,
god,
yes, sir, bro.
loved
Yes,
it.
sir. You love to see it. Haven't
Mhm.
read Hell's Paradise? Do it. It's literally good for you, bro.
Oh, actually, you know what this? I would like to talk about the villain real quick. So the Tenzin thing. I think it's cool. Cool little like novelty. It's they're okay. I like the mad scientist approach kind of thrown in there. More than I like the divine sort of approach.
Yeah.
It also like is a reasonable justification for what the hell those creatures are on the island and all this. And I think it's a good way to like, there's this one panel, right? And don't spoil me on like the results of this. But it's one of the Tenzin, I think, that they fight where he's the one that confirms that there is no elixir. And I got the biggest, goofiest grin on my face, man.
I said, yes. Why? Okay, I'm curious why.
So I'm like, all right. Practice with Tao a bit, right? Buy some time. Go back. Kill them all. Just do it. All. You're right. Just kill the Shogun, kill his like underlings, and then just go be with your wife. And then kill the village elder. Take your time with it, Have fun.
Yeah. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. I'm excited to see what you think when everything unfolds. Because,
Dude, because my logic is, if there's no elixir, like, he's not immortal. Go. Like,
go.
Yeah.
Kill him. Take him out.
Dude, kill the other ninja. Yeah. Make a day out of it, It could be your first, like, outing with your wife.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, bro, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Obviously you're not like all the way through it, but I'm kind of curious, what is your like sort of tentative current ranking of the series as a whole? How do you feel about it? Do you think, I guess, like as an attachment to it, do you think this can stack up to how you feel about, say, something like Chainsaw Man or JJK by the end of the story?
100%. I'm happy, like, it's bittersweet, right, that it's already over. Because I'm happy that I'm like enjoying the series and it has a definitive ending and all that, but like it sucks that we can't roll it into this podcast. There's no like weekly things to like break down in the same way with like JJK, and I'd like to say Chainsaw Man, but we don't gotta go there. To be honest with you, I think it has potential to surpass Chainsaw Man, but probably not JJK for me.
I can see that. That's fair. Yeah. What would you say the number score is right now, at least?
Tentative 8, solid 8.
Tentative 8. Nice. I'm glad.
Wait, I'm
that's good, man.
What are your rankings like of the Dark Trio?
For all of them?
Yeah.
They move around so much, bro. So like, they're very, very, very close. In all honesty. So like, if I have to. Like, JJK, it fluctuates between a 9 and a 9.5. Depends on what Gege drops. I'm going to be real with you. It depends on the most recent chapter. If the most recent chapter was bad, it falls to a 9, bro. And if it was good, it may still stay a 9, but it depends. It could go to a 9. So the way it looks right now is JJK's a 9, Chainsaw Man's an 8.5, and Hell's Paradise is an 8.5. So with Hell's Paradise being the smallest of smidges above Chainsaw Man for me.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Like it really fluctuates and changes. I would love to live in a world where the Hell's Paradise anime was like as solid as
I saw your short.
Chainsaw Man or like JJK anime, because I genuinely feel like an adaptation on that level could have probably propelled it to JJK levels for me in enjoyment, because the JJK anime combined with the manga
is a crazy experience.
Especially with it's a crazy experience, bro. And I feel like Hell's Paradise kind of just, it's not that it's bad. I keep saying it. People keep thinking I'm hating. It's better. It's slightly better than Blue Lock, but yes, it is that. It's like, it's fine. People are liking it, right? It's good enough for people to like. That's good enough for me for the most part. Like from a, I just want everybody to like the series I like type thing, right? But from a personal, selfish, I've read the manga. I want to watch the anime. It's like, it's fine. The manga's better by a decent margin, but I just wish the anime could have like elevated some shit, bro. Because there are some moments in Hell's Paradise where the anime could have done, it just could have done something special. It just could have done something special.
To me, this sort of echoes the sentiment going around with like the Chainsaw Man anime, where I saw a lot of, it was disappointing. Like it wasn't like bad, right? I think a lot of people were just sort of let down by it, and I think, to be honest with you, I think Mappa shares some of the blame for that because of the way they hyped it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything could have like fit those expectations, like because
Yeah.
it was still a great anime, right? It just, I don't think.
I think the thing is Chainsaw Man is a good anime under normal circumstances because in terms of production value, in terms of tone, all that stuff is really good. But it feels like they forgot what they were adapting. Like Chainsaw Man is just too gray. Like not too gray. It's not. I feel like
I know exactly
enough.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because like the manga, right? It oscillates between like extreme mundanity and extreme insanity, like pretty much
and the
on
anime
a dime.
just doesn't.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the anime could have really benefited from like, and this probably would have been super tough, right? So like I may be talking about like I don't know from like the animators or producers' point of view and experience, right? But like something where like the fights are constantly changing their color schemes, like the green blood that we see obviously on volume 1 of Chainsaw Man, like shit like that. I feel like that vibrancy is what the Chainsaw Man anime was missing. So I think in terms of animation, it was great, right? In terms of all of this shit, it was really good. Voice acting was really solid, all of that. But I think it's just like this would have been good for any other normal series that was adapting. Like any other fan base would have been like over the moon, right? Because Chainsaw Man is just so weird. It's like, hey, bro, you kind of just took my Gordon Ramsay filet mignon and just cooked like a normal good steak. What are we doing? Where's I just need something, bro. I need something.
You know, okay, I think I even know what it's like, right? It's like you took a filet mignon and you were like, man, I can make a great beef Wellington, right? But then you serve it to the customer and they're like, well, I appreciate the thought, right? And this looks great. I'm just allergic to mushrooms.
Yeah, it's like,
so like I'm sure the pastry is amazing. I'm sure everything's great, but like I fundamentally can't eat it, you know?
Yeah, it just doesn't work, bro. It just doesn't work. Man, it's like pineapple on pizza, bro. Wrong, you know, right thing, wrong messenger, whatever. Unless you're a pineapple on pizza person. Yeah.
So
but yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a great, book club.
For sure. I want to say this because I really got to use the bathroom and I want to read out the super chat in a second. But
okay. I also have to use. So we'll tag out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I want to say this real quick for like because this series is rather short. I already finished mine. Kreams is on track to finish this pretty soon.
Yeah, next week.
We're at that point, guys. I'm curious if you guys could have me and Kreams read any series that we haven't already read, right? What would it be? Let us know in chat. Me and Kreams will kind of just be talking, shooting the shit, reading super chats that we might have missed. And then you guys can just drop series that you'd like us to read, finished or not, right? I think I personally have a preference for finished just because it makes for a neat conclusion. But if not, if it's a series that we haven't read that we'd really enjoy or that you'd like to put us through the ringer on, go right ahead. I'm down. We're going to next week start putting up polls for you guys to vote on what the next particular book club will be. So we'll take all suggestions, write them down, we'll kind of cull them a little bit, get them down to 4 or 5 picks, put them in a poll for you guys to do, and then you guys can have at it. So let us know what you guys would want to see, and Kreams, I will be taking my bathroom break first.
Cool. Have fun.
Yeah.
Bro just called dibs, but it's fine. Anyway, I just want to say Alexander does love, thank you for the 5. Man, Chobe to me is a mini Sukuna. I don't know why. Maybe the way he fights and figures things out could be why. Also, the unyielding sense of self line. Oh, yes. He's also another great character. I really enjoyed him. I was a little off-put by his savagery. I don't know how to really explain it other than that. But, I think it was the conversation with his brother where he was like, the lower parts of their bodies are weakness and all that. I was like, all right, bro, you won me over. You sold me. I'm down for it. Okay, I'm on board. Let's see what you cook. I think right now I'm up to the fight where I'm up to the part where him and Gabimaru are fighting, or they just started fighting, but it cut away, so no spoilers on that, chat. All right. And this is right after Gabimaru loses his memory. So I'm actually super pumped to knock out the rest of Hell's Paradise. I think I'm gonna read maybe 1 or 2 volumes today just to kind of scratch the itch. But I have 7 more volumes, so I'm not in a too big of a rush. Hello, I'm not falling for that. Let's see. See Dandadan. I've read up to like chapter 30 of Dandadan. I'm caught up to Solo Leveling's physical volumes. I don't think I've read volume 6 yet, but I think I'm on volume 5. Let's see.
All right.
So
you can go ahead and
yeah, I'm up to chapter 80 in Sakamoto Day. Okay, yeah. Just kind of going through the thing.
Okay, cool.
Oh, great. Alexander Dustov just gave you a great jumping off point. All right, I'll be back.
Let's see. Thank you for the $2 for running and recommend Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works anime. Bro, the one thing keeping me away from Fate is I need not a reading order, or I guess a watching order in this instance. But like it's one of those where I think I've seen conflicting opinions on like, oh, is it release order? Is it blah blah blah? And I just anytime I even see a debate or like a conversation remotely mirroring that, I just run, bro. I just run away. I just run away for the hills. Let's see, Heavenly Delusion. I'll write that down. I saw someone mention Monster. If I had to guess, probably Live. What did I get in Spanish? Was it a B? I wish. I'm worse than Miles in that department, bro. Let's see. Okay, Kreams has actually read some Sakamoto Days. Yeah, he has. He's just a hater and doesn't want to have it on the podcast. The order is 0, then unlimited. No, there are only 2. I could have sworn there were more than that, but yeah, if it's that simple, it might be. I just have to do that. Hey, Sleeping Day, do you think you're slick trying to ask Kreams his opinion on One Piece YouTubers? It's crazy. For people who talk about One Piece. That's crazy. Tower of God. Okay, I'll put down Tower of God. Damn, ain't that shit like the One Piece of manhwa, bro? That's kind of crazy to ask. Let's see. Ajin. I've read Ajin, but I'll put it down. Berserk. Kreams definitely won't be willing to read that, but I'll put it down. I've already read King and Ashura. Pretty fucking sick. Omniscient Reader. A lot of manhwa. And by a lot, I mean like 2. Let me just make sure to write all these down. Reborn. You're actually disgusting. But I'll put it down. I'm not reading that shit, but I'll put it down for you. Inazuma 11, kind of like Blue Lock if it was based. All right, now I'm not putting Inazuma 11 just because you wanted to talk bad about Blue Lock like that. That's crazy. Hope Dreams reads Tokyo Ghoul. I think he'd like Tokyo Ghoul, maybe. Yeah. Where have the OP streams been? In the fucking void, bro. I haven't been streaming at all. I mean, as you guys have noticed, just because I've been preparing for JJK season 2 and Bleach, so I haven't really been. I won't say I haven't been able to make time, but I've had my hands full with making as many videos as possible for that. Yona of the Dawn. I'll put that down. Good Night Poon Poon. I've read that and I don't want to run it back. Let's see. Hand Jumper. I've never even heard of that one, but I'll put it down. Hand Jumper. Opinion on Mashal because I'm curious. I'm an anime only. It's funny you asked that because I just recently did a quick binge from where I was and caught up to the manga a couple of days ago. And I think it's good. It's solid on a binge, right? I think Mashal is a series that is pretty enjoyable on a binge read. I kind of fell off of it and thought it was kind of boring on a weekly basis, but I think if you're someone who's anime only and you may want to get into the manga, it's solid. It's very solid. Read Blue Box. Bold of you to assume I don't already. Romance manga are kind of my thing. Kind of my thing. You guys talk about Mashal on the pod this week? I don't even know if Kreams reads Mashal. But if he does, no. Let's see. Yeah. Mashal's decent. I agree. Eden Zero. That's one I hear people recommend a lot. Have you and Kreams read Undead Unluck? I read part of it, but I ended up putting the manga down. No particular reason. I just don't like reading a shit ton of weekly series, and Undead Unluck was one of the few that didn't make the cut. Read Gintama. Bro, for you and all the other 2 Gintama fans in the stream, I'll put it down. Are you done with JJK? Absolutely not. You're gonna have JJK in a few minutes as soon as he gets back. I'm gonna throw this one out. Rikido, grimy ass manga. See, Nija, I knew you were real as fuck because I've read Rikido and Rikido is fire. Listen, bro, I'm not about to make a whole video on Rikido itself, but I'm making a video talking about like a bunch of manga for like dumb meatheads like myself who just want to see two motherfuckers punch each other in the face. And Rikido's on that is in that video, bro. It's on there. BR liking romance but not reading Yona, my villain origin story. Hey, listen. If we were going to, me and Kreams are going to confer, right? I will try to keep the misogyny away from the discussion. And if Yona of the Dawn makes it, we can put it on the poll, and then we're just going to let the people decide. Yeah, let's see. Orbital Poet, thank you for the 10. If we're just about to get started, I'll get this out of the way, BR. I'm sorry, but last chapter saying Gojo was on Pack Watch was sacrilegious. I can't let you get away with it. It was crazy for you. I mean, hey, bro. The views got to come from somewhere. And also, yeah, no, I understand. I get it. I understand. What up, Kreams?
Oh, Orbital Poet. Nice. Thank you for that dono. I heard BR read it out, but, you know, just wanted to thank you personally, because I know it means more for me.
Holy Land might be a good read. It's so funny. So, question for you, actually. And this is something we didn't think of. And so I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I know how you feel about, like, thinking on your feet. But for these, would we be reading the same manga or would we be getting different ones?
Well, it wasn't the original idea. It's one that neither of us have read.
Yeah, that was the idea. The only reason I asked that is just because I'm seeing a lot of picks. I'm like, damn, that's a good pick. Damn, that's a good pick. Damn, that's a good pick.
I mean,
but it's like Kreams is just such a manga.
I know.
How do I say this?
Virgin. It's okay. Anyway.
Yes. That's what I was gonna say. But yeah, so it's like Holy Land. I've read Holy Land. I've read Tokyo Ghoul. I've unfortunately read most of. I won't say most of. I've read a decent portion of Hitman Reborn, Berserk. Ugh.
I mean, I've read.
Wait, I can't say that on stream. I can't say I don't fuck with Berserk Pepper. I'm sorry. My fault.
I can tell you. I saw some people on here ask about Undead Unluck and Mashal, and I've read both, and I really don't know how to feel about that. And I think I'm up to date on Mashal. I don't know why. It's one of those chapters that I just read every week. Not because I'm like a fan. It's just
one of them. It's interesting enough to read on a weekly basis for sure.
Because it's in its final arc right now, so it's just like it's gonna wrap up soon.
Undead
Unluck,
I just recently binged it, and I was like, it's solid on a binge.
Yeah, it's solid on a binge. Yeah. Undead Unluck, sure. I put down just to get some chapters stocked up for a binge. I think I'm on chapter. You know, for me, I stopped reading when she went right back in time. Right. So I hadn't seen anything like for the new timeline yet.
For sure. A weaker pick. What about Yozakura Family? I almost banned you for saying that's a weak pick. I fucking love Yozakura Family.
Unfortunately, I'm on chapter like 150 something. So yeah.
I said unfortunately.
Because
Fire Punch. Not too horrible.
I'm gonna hold off on Fire Punch. Yeah.
Too much of the no things for Kreams.
Yeah. I wish I didn't know that because I have the first volume. I was gonna collect the whole series. Oof. Okay.
I mean, have you read any of it at all? You'll get a very distinct, like literally just read the first chapter and that will tell you, hey, you know what? Maybe this ain't for me. Let's see. Record of Ragnarok. Reading.
Yeah.
Reading.
Record of Ragnarok is. I just made my peace with it. I'm gonna binge it when it's over. I can't do these like monthly drops.
Yeah, no, bro. You're right,
like,
bro. You know what? I just need to make that decision because like I have been reading this shit on a regular basis and it just ain't hitting at all, bro.
It really is.
It's just not. I need Adam versus Zeus back, bro.
Yeah,
like
that
was that
peak manga,
bro. It's crazy because like these motherfuckers really went out and gave their best fight as the second one.
Insane.
And it's insane how they've never peaked again.
No, because Jack the Ripper.
There are other good fights, but I'm saying I think
that was a high.
Adam versus Zeus is the best, and I would be pissed if I'm writing a manga, right, and I come up with my best fight 2 fights in. Oh nah.
Yeah.
Oh nah. I'd be upset. Okay, so we have a lot up here, and then I'll.
Oh, JST, thank you for the 5. Vagabond, man, I can't say it enough.
Oh, I'll put Vagabond. That appeals to me, but you know, Kreams is not really locked in.
That seems like Ronin core.
I haven't read it just because it's in hiatus hell. The Gray Man.
I started reading
I'll put that down.
I'm only like 20 chapters in.
Yeah, I heard that one's in. I heard that one gets like fucking seasonal chapters, bro, and that to me just sounds like
still ongoing. I thought it was over.
I heard that it was like it gets chapters like once every 3 months or some shit like that.
But
But
I think,
yeah,
yeah, I think we're getting a vibe for what you guys are into.
can you
Um,
post the reading list so others can follow? I can post my Annie list real quick.
um,
Um,
I will say somebody said Yu Yu Hakusho, and I've never read it. I've never read it. I've watched like the first 20 episodes of the anime, but I just couldn't get into it. And I think a part of the reason I don't want to get into it is because I heard the ending is really weak. So, I'm more
I don't
willing to give it a
understand saying this, by the
chance.
way.
Huh?
Nothing. Continue.
I said,
I
I
just said Hunter x Hunter fan, by the way. That was all.
yeah. I mean, look,
You got to. All I'm saying is, it's Tagashi. Take your endings where you can get them.
I
Okay.
know, I know, I know. Like, okay, I'd be more willing to read it, I think, now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right
Because
now.
the thing is, the ending is weak relative to the rest of the
Yeah.
story, but it's not bad. Like it's just like, let's say you think the rest of the story is a 9 out of 10. It's like a 7 out of 10 ending to me.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
because I heard like the main story is just like peak, and then the ending trails off. So I'm like really curious about it, but like not enough to pick it up.
Tagashi's better work. That's all I'm gonna say.
You are
That's all I'm gonna
absolutely
say.
lying. Anyway, oh,
You haven't read it. You don't know.
actually, Noragami's been on my list for a minute now. I watched the first.
I'll put
couple
Noragami up here.
I watched the first like 3 episodes of the anime, but I think the manga would probably be better.
Yeah. Just now I should think of the 5. Just to push the degradement agenda, the author has Kupo as one of their biggest inspirations. Hey, bro, listen, that might just be enough for me,
No,
bro.
like,
Kupo, go.
Gray Man was fun. It's just I really hope it like picks up after the intro because it was like a solid 7.5 out of 10, like the first 20, 30 chapters, but like it just didn't move me enough to be like, oh, I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'll write down tough as well. There are a lot for us to choose from, so we'll get to that vetting process. Baki would be crazy. We've both read Baki.
Yeah. I'm not caught up to Baki, but yeah.
I mean, who gets caught up to Baki, bro?
I know.
Outside of a binge. I'll just say this right now: we would not be able to coherently talk about Baki, bro.
No.
Oh my God, Baki just fucking image trained against.
Oh, dude. Speaking of Baki, just going back to Hell's Paradise for a second.
Yeah, what up?
Dog, that fifth, like thing.
That fifth thing.
That fifth like aspect of getting stronger with Tao.
Am I missing? Wait, what do you mean?
You know, I know what you're doing, bro. I just didn't know like Yujiro Hanma was a
no.
practitioner. I thought you were just messing with me.
I literally did not understand.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, the fifth. I'm there sitting here, fucking holding my chin. I'm like, the fifth. Thing? Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that you'd. I'm not even gonna go there, bro. I'm not gonna go there. I thought about it.
Hold on. I linked my Annie list. I have to change my AOT ranking right now. Hold on. Right now, where's AOT, bro? I have to do this for my own safety.
Yeah, Bocho.
I don't have AOT.
Jujutsu. That's the term.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't have AOT at a 5, guys. You can't prove that I ever did. There you go. Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
That was just someone just said, "Why do you have AOT at a 3 out of 10?" I got flashbacks to what happened on Twitter, and I had to move quickly. All right.
Bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus.
But I thought of that scene with Baki and Yujiro, and I just kind of chuckled to myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So JJK time.
Yeah, JJK time. Thank you guys for the suggestions. Me and Kreams are going to talk about this sometime this week. Try to whittle these down, and then we'll put up a poll for y'all. Yeah. We don't worry, Lando. We got Yono of the Dawn up here, so we'll talk about it. We'll confer, do all that good stuff. Yeah. Listen, no screenshots or it didn't happen. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, JJK time, right?
JJK
Let's talk about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Sorcery fight, as some may know it as.
Yeah. The chapter starts off pretty simple. Like Gege just goes with the simplest of ways to have Gojo heal. It just didn't go through all the way. Like he healed himself as it was happening. Cool. So that whole debate we were having sort of at the end of the podcast, or rather discussion, was just kind of answered by, I mean, he just kind of slashed part of his neck. He wasn't decapitated at all. He can just heal that.
I mean,
so that was cool.
Seeing Gojo, like, I mean, we kind of confirmed it last episode. We were like, oh, he's probably just gonna output reverse curse technique.
Mm-hmm. He's just gonna use reverse curse technique at the same level, or like as much as he can to counter the slashes, and that's literally what he did
on his Hikari shit for real.
You know what? This is Hikari hate, bro. So like, I know how you're gonna feel about this. knowing that Gojo can heal fast enough to survive it pissed me off bad. I
Wow.
got because here's the thing, right? I genuinely wanted Hikari to step in this domain on a jackpot and just die. But because Gojo can do it, and I'm not saying Hikari's reverse growth circuit is confirmed to be as fast as Gojo's when he's going full output, right? But I would imagine that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And because Gojo can heal fast enough to survive it, unless Hikari's durability is way, way, way worse, which it probably is to be fair, but it means he can. It means he can likely survive the domain expansion while in jackpot, and that just genuinely from the I seriously mean this. It really was it hurt, bro. I didn't want to see that. I did not want to know that because I didn't want to know that, bro. I really didn't. It ruined my day,
bro. I just want to say, right, this was like a peak part of the fight, right? I think this was like the first time where it felt like, all right, we're really in the thick of it with this battle. You know, they're not really feeling each other out anymore. They're just like they're actively trying to kill each other now. And I think like I'm very happy that switch was finally flipped. Because man,
do you think okay, continue, sorry.
So just I mean, I don't know, like, okay, feel free to disagree, but like short of like Gojo's organs falling out of his torso, you know, like I think it was a pretty bold statement that it had shifted gears. I mean,
I think so too, but I also this kind of will relate to the Sukuna thing, but I don't want to take away the spotlight from Gojo right now. So I'm gonna say I do agree that we've shifted into a higher gear. However, I would say I don't know if I think this is the highest gear we've seen for both of them.
No, 100%. Like he hasn't even used the 10 shadows yet. Gojo hasn't like done whatever he's gonna do.
yeah. Gojo has it purpled, I guess, more. Nah, but I get what you mean. Yeah, I will say, one, I liked like Gege's implied like gore. I mean, I guess a lot of it is shown, but like the implied, like just seeing the back half is like just oodles and gobs of blood, bro. Like he's just like God. The healing is going crazy.
Literally.
And for him to say like, damn, bro, my curse technique is just better.
Yeah,
is crazy. Like you were saying, right? And I'm gonna call you out for this, all right? Because it's one of the rare times I get to. You were saying that like Gojo felt very arrogant when he was calling Sukuna the challenger, post Hollow Purple.
Right.
And I feel like kind of in the like, you know, because Sukuna was kind of parroting what you were saying, right? Like, oh, you got a surprise hit up on me. Like, yeah, you're real tough shit, right? But in the midst of Sukuna's domain, bro, the shit talk, like the confidence did not wane in the slightest. Bro is getting eviscerated, like torn apart. The scales are being torn off. And in the midst of that, he's like, bro, I'm so happy. You're not shit. I'm him. You're not. And then he just runs away. It was so funny just seeing him run. He's like, yeah, that being said, I got to get out of here though, because like this is kind of not fun. So I like that. I like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Initially, because of how absurd it was to me that Gojo would be talking like that in his domain, I thought Sukuna was like reveling in the fact that he was just fucking Gojo up, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Then obviously you reread it with like a different translation. You're like, oh no, Gojo is just saying his technique's better.
Yeah,
he's just saying his technique's better.
Which is crazy to say in that situation.
Yeah,
it's hard. Like it's raw. Like it was definitely
it's raw as hell, bro. And I think like I mentioned earlier in stream, but it's been a while since we talked about it, like 2 hours basically. So it was. I think the idea that Teshiro told me was like basically Gojo thinks, I won't say it's for sure, right? But Gojo thinks that Sukuna cannot survive the inside of his domain, right? Like if the sure hit takes effect, Sukuna just loses, right? I think that's the idea. And but the inverse isn't true. Gojo clearly can survive the conditions of Sukuna's domain even when the sure hit is active. But from what we've seen, you're not really able to resist at all Gojo's, right? So I imagine that he's probably banking on that to some degree. And like I said, he may just be outright saying that your slashing techniques just do not compare to the Limitless in general, which is not a crazy statement at all. I mean, I think people have thought that since the beginning. I'm going to be real with you. But yeah, it was just very interesting for him to see it at that moment, right? You know, he's down and he's just like, it don't matter, bro. I'm different than you. So yeah, nice. So always nice to see them throwing hands. I love when Gege just lets these characters just really get close and just start throwing punches. Sukuna even compliments Gojo. He's like, bro, you're moving pretty well for a guy who's like dying. You know what I mean? Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're moving at all, considering your limbs are barely together.
Yeah. So yeah, I was I thought that was interesting. Everybody's we get the podcast. It's funny. Ain't what like they're doing right now just basically the Honored Ones podcast, bro? Like when you think about it, who are they talking about right now? Who are these motherfuckers sitting around talking about right now, bro? Gege stole our flow. Can we sue? Can we sue? Because I feel like this is just a podcast talking about JJK shit, bro. And they're talking about the JJK shit. We talk about the JJK shit. I mean, Yuji, Kusakabe, Mei, and them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're sitting around talking about the Honored Ones. That whole thing.
Yeah, we gotta send a cease and desist, obviously, but
obviously, bro. I mean, come on, we can't let them do that to us.
Okay, so God, there's like a lot to this back and forth with Gojo and Sukuna that I just think I want to tackle piece by piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's this overarching thing that I'm keeping track of when these chapters drop. Rare a sight as that may be nowadays. But it's sort of like tracking their respective MP and HP meters.
Mm-hmm.
More so the MP meter, right? Because that's like how they're able to attack each other and defend and heal.
Yeah.
And I don't like the numbers, right? I don't like the numbers of where they're at relatively, right? Because even I think Kusakabe said it himself, right? Gojo is just like draining. Like he's going like how it was like infinitesimally close to zero, like his curse energy usage. Yeah, he's at like 300%. Like
yeah,
like
he's just spamming shit that should not be spammed.
Yeah, and he needs to do it like to stay alive, right? Because the alternative is just dying on the spot, which I think is a little crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all Gojo needs, right, is to sort of get back on track. Is just get to 50% and just make sure he stretches out. Yeah, right. Cool. Sukuna's a little bit trickier, right? Because you don't know, I guess we don't know how much of a tax he has to pay to heal, keep the shrine active, also enhance himself and fight Gojo at the same time, and all the damage he's taken so far and all the techniques he's used so far. And it feels like, okay, conservatively, right, my own headcanon guess, just based on everything I've seen, I want to say Gojo's probably used half his power, and Sukuna's probably used 20 to 30%, right?
Yeah. It depends. So it's. I'm interested in do you think a domain expansion uses more cursed energy, a significant amount, the longer it's up, or do you think most of the upfront cost is just casting it?
You have to assume it's the former, right? Because the technique is sort of everlasting with Sukuna, right? Because the whole point is that it doesn't relent. Though it could be a binding vow with the technique with the domain, and Sukuna can just off-put that and just be like, oh no, it's just gonna keep going. That's part of the condition.
That's automated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is Gojo is obviously he's used his techniques, right? He opened his domain expansion same as Sukuna. He lost the clash. He was spamming max output reverse curse technique, double simple domain, then used reverse curse technique again to restore his technique, and then used curse technique reversal red, which, as we've confirmed, used double the amount of blue, right? So it's I think that Gojo is still fine stamina wise. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, but I do think that the concern of Ino and Kusakabe of listen, dude, yeah, obviously under normal circumstances he doesn't run out of curse energy, right? But these circumstances are anything but normal, and I didn't even account for the fact I don't know how much he has to amp himself physically to keep up with Sukuna, right? On top of all of that, so.
But it's crazy, right? Because we don't the problem I've always had with Sukuna's physical stats in particular is that for most of the series, right, it's just been well, he's in Yuji's body, he has more cursed energy, so it's not an unreasonable assumption to be okay, his insane cursed energy, which we now know is twice the amount of Yuta's. Again, I'm still shaken by that.
More than twice the amount of Yuta's.
It's just
Jesus.
It's unsettling, right? It also explains how he was able to handle Maki and Yuji at the same time back in that fight.
Yeah.
I get it, right?
It makes sense. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
But now he's in in physically inferior body, so I'm curious. And no offense to Megumi, right? But he's not yeah, he's not jumping off like buildings like Yuji is, right?
For
Um,
sure. Yeah.
and so I'm like, I wonder if he is technically physically weaker in Megumi's body. Obviously, the curse technique makes up for like attack power and all that, but I'm just saying like
Mhm.
just pure physical boost, right?
Yeah.
If Sukuna has to like expend more energy to like make up the difference for being in Yuji's body, or maybe it was always like his own uh, whatever boost, if that makes sense. So like,
Yeah, I mean, I personally, the way I look at it is this, right?
mm,
Because of how much curse energy Sukuna has and he uses to amp himself,
mm-hmm,
the physical difference between Yuji and Megumi is probably rather inconsequential.
true,
Like,
yeah,
it's like, it's like, you know, one ant, half an ant. It's like, cool, sure, right? That's a difference. And like, relative to the ants, yeah, that's half, right? Like,
mm-hmm,
that's, or in Yuji, it would be double, whatever,
mm-hmm.
right? But it's like, Sukuna's like, dude, I'm using curse energy y'all ain't ever seen before, bro.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't matter to me. I
Because
don't
like
care.
Yuta amping himself on like on his frail ass
Yuta is
frame, yeah,
actually weak. Like he's just
yeah,
like bro is sickly.
yeah. like, he should eat more. Like you know what I mean? Like Yuta,
Yeah.
like Yuta,
Yeah,
like
and Yuta
yeah,
says something. He's like, "Yeah, I'm actually rather weak." And I'm like, "No, bro, I can see it, bro. Get some
yeah.
sleep."
Like
But yeah, so for
dog,
like
you look
someone
like
like
you've had
Megami,
air
who's
for
probably just
breakfast.
in between as a base, right?
Yeah.
In between Yuta and Yuji,
Mm-hmm.
and then you add like more than double Yuta's cursed energy, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, no, I get why." No, I get why Gojo is still like, they're still like when they're physically brawling, it's close or whatever, right? That makes sense, because that's a lot of curse energy.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of curse energy. Hold on one second. Let me put this guy in timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah,
that
it's an
is
insane
it.
amount of cursed energy, right?
Yeah.
And sure, you like, but for me, it's still like a thing he has to use, right? So in my
Mm-hmm.
grand calculations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sukuna, like he doesn't have like the infinite potential reserve that Gojo has, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just killing me, right? Like how much do Megumi's techniques take to activate? Are they like, is it a different price? Like what goes into that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And if he pops off another domain, or hell, if he pops off Megumi's domain or something like double that, right? It just has to consume more energy. And so,
Yeah. I
like,
mean, I
yeah,
I agree, but I think the thing to take into account is like while Sukuna is not probably using infinitesimally close to zero amount of curse energy for shit, he is as close to that as you can be without the six eyes, right?
mm-hmm.
So I think that like when you combine, like he probably has the best curse energy manipulation outside of Gojo in the series. With the fact that he has very clearly more than double Gojo's, it's like I think a lot of that curse energy control versus like curse energy amount pulls pretty close to even. I will say though that like I think Gojo's curse energy control shows itself um not just in moments of like, oh, how much stamina does he have, but like in his ability to use positive and negative energy simultaneously,
Mm-hmm.
which granted, we've known he's able to do because Hollow Purple is literally using blue and red simultaneously. But when you think about the fact that he's like, no, 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 he's literally reversing his curse energy and then just using regular curse energy at the same time. And you think about like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like that doesn't hold on. You're not supposed to be able to do that, actually. The whole point is it's supposed to be one or the other for a second, right? But Gojo's like, no, 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 not that. I'll just do both. I think it speaks to volumes, like it speaks volumes about that, like how Gojo can use the available energy. I think is just as important as how long he can maintain it. Um, but yeah.
Like, okay. While I agree with you in spirit,
Hmm.
my main beef is still okay. Sure, he's close to the six eyes, but like he doesn't have the six eyes, right? So he's still fundamentally working off of a more finite pool. And the thing that I think this chapter signals to me, and it should signal to Sukuna, is all right. Domain didn't work, and now he knows what to expect. But I know what to expect. But like, it's gonna take something stronger than the domain to like really put him down, and that's probably gonna not be cheap.
You think so? Maybe.
I mean, okay, look, if he's surviving, okay, he is technically surviving a stronger Malevolent Shrine than Maharaga did after adapting to slashing attacks, you know?
Yeah.
Which is
But Sukuna
also a
Sukuna
crazy
knew
feat.
that was going to be the case, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Um
did he though?
like I don't think he would look to Gojo as like a challenge, right? And be excited to fight him if he expected Gojo to just be a worse Maharaga. Like,
no,
you know what I mean?
I get what you mean, but I mean like in the sort of spirit of, okay, this is so far taking more than it has taken to like kill, the last whatever many opponents that I fought.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I got to take it more seriously, right? Because it still feels like Sukuna's probing, like feeling out Gojo, getting a sense for the fight, and he's not, and he feels like he's less on the ropes than Gojo is or has been the last couple chapters, right? But it feels like when he has to step it up, he needs to step it up in a big way that Gojo can't like easily recover from.
I mean, I think the obvious answer to that would be either
Maharaga
like opening some shit or Maharaga,
right?
Which is because like I think a pretty like not easy solution. I don't want to downplay it, but like a solution we've seen him use before is like, oh no, my domain doesn't work. Here's this nuke.
Yes, or the fire.
So like, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, so it depends. I don't know if we think that like post domain he like took a while to get the fire arrow. I don't, because of the way it's framed in the manga. Like Sukuna is just standing there waiting to see if Maharaga gets out, and then he just immediately pulls the arrow out. So I don't know if Sukuna, like, I don't know if that's a technique. I don't know if that's a like cursed energy sort of trait where he's just like, yeah, no. Now I just have fire, cool, and I'm not using a technique. I'm just shooting a big ass blast of fire cursed energy at you, right? So I don't really know. But if he can just open a domain, have Gojo be cut to pieces, right? Even though he can heal it, similar to how Maharaga was, but then he just nukes Gojo. I mean, he's got a kind of good strategy, because as far as Sukuna is concerned, Gojo does not have the proper domain to deal with him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that I was wondering. Right, if I'm Gojo, right, and I'm like looking at this, I'm like, all right, I got a bad idea, but it's kind of one I got in the back pocket. I now know my technique, or like the technique of my domain is just better, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I can get him to a level of cursed energy where he can't use his own domain to counter me, it's over, right?
Yeah, you win.
Yeah, like
unless you're also at a level of cursed energy where you can't use your own domain,
right? So I think like if Gojo really wanted to, like after everything he's seen, really wanted this to like up his chances of success, we'll say, right? We'll phrase it like that. Make it a battle of attrition at a distance, At
a distance, yeah. I mean, so the thing, it's tough because I don't know. I really don't know, because you don't know, like, is keeping domain amplification up constantly tough, right?
Oh yeah, he's also been doing that. So like, yeah. And I feel,
but I don't know how much cursed energy that takes. I don't know how tough that is for Sukuna. I don't know any of that stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
It definitely feels a little vexing, because it feels like Sukuna's more in control, but not overwhelming Gojo to the same capacity, if that makes sense, right? Because the ending is supposed to be like, oh yeah, Gojo's like back in the fight.
Yeah, he won. Like he won this exchange.
Right, but
yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about, right? Like Gojo pulled off a historic performance because he got out of Malevolent Shrine, and at least for the chapter being for the next 2 weeks, right, he is kind of the victor here.
Yeah. That being said, what's a face scar if not like a 0.1% for Sukuna to heal?
Yeah. I will say though that like, if Gojo, because I know Mimi was saying that like, oh, the middle totem doesn't really mean anything. She's like, if Gojo didn't go for it immediately, that means it didn't mean anything. But I'm like, I feel like Gojo can't right now. Yeah, like that's not an option he has.
And actually, I want to talk about that. That was my prediction for last week. I don't know if you remember. I was like, oh,
yeah,
what if,
I do remember.
The nucleus is like of the domain is like the shrine or whatever. Gege, historic timing on this is just like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, no, it is.
No, it's not. It's nothing. Think about it, right? If Gojo, the guy with 6 eyes, noticed that, he'd probably do something about it. But is he? No, he isn't, Kreams.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
like it felt oddly
antagonistic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It wasn't just,
Gojo does acknowledge that it's the middle, but it's just like he doesn't know if it's particularly. The thing is, like the question I have about it, the assessment is like, okay, Mei saying if Gojo can see that that destroying it would work, he would have done it, right? And I just disagree with that conclusion because I currently think Gojo would die attempting to go for that.
I mean, his curse technique's being replenished, and he's like, look at him.
Yeah, like I personally think Gojo may go for it now, right, or may have the opportunity to, but before he was just a guy running around who had to heal himself a lot, bro. It was just that was just all he had. That was just all he had in his bag. He now I will say this, right? Even though I think Sukuna has been quite dominant throughout this fight, the ball is in Gojo's court. If Gojo can make Sukuna destroy, or like can make the shrine, or like just generally make Sukuna close his domain. The reason being, that like Sukuna's technique will be burned out, and now the shoe will be on the other foot.
Well, I mean, I think the technicality is going to go for is like one of his techniques is burnt out, kind of. Like, kind of go.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing happens with the 6 eyes because Gojo is presumably still using the 6 eyes, right?
Yeah. But
in the domain,
it's so weird with the 6 eyes because it's like those are just his eyes, you know? Like.
Yeah, but it's like his eyes are the reason he can even manipulate cursed energy the way he does, right?
Yeah.
So like, if you're like. Can you imagine for a second if, like, in a domain immediately after Gojo was just a normal guy who was just like, no, my cursed energy manipulation is just like regular now, bro. Until my technique is back, I'm just one of you guys. That would be that'd be bad. But yeah, I mean, even that is something that we've seen a lot. Someone was asking if like, you know, we think that, or the totem sort of like middle thing is the case for all barrierless domains, and Megumi's domain, even though this is incomplete, even his has a middle thing. Like he has that spine.
Yeah.
Growing out of it. Kenjaku actually, Kenjaku actually has the cursed spirits, and obviously Sukuna has a shrine. So in every instance of a barrierless domain, complete or not, we have seen that like
it's sort of
that
like,
it does have some sort of like middle. Like I guess it could be like your innate domain that you were bringing out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, it's, you know, it's weird, right? It felt like a little too like jokes aside with Gege disproving me specifically, it did feel a little like interesting that they would bring it up as like a possibility.
Yeah.
The personal slight comes from Yuji making this observation. I just
UG level intelligence feat.
It did make me feel some type of way, but we'll push that aside, right? If it was Yuta, I'd feel like a little bit more, you know. But it's whatever. Yuta being like Yuta. Sorry, it's just Yuji and Yuta like both noticing, or I guess trying to notice this thing of the domain clash where Yuta's the first one to pick up on like what Gojo's doing with like using reverse curse technique, and keep. I don't know if I'm wrong about this or if I read it incorrectly, but he used reverse curse technique on his technique.
To, like, he used it to replenish his technique,
which I thought was like cool. That had like it had like a very like a weaker 0.2 domain expansion kind of energy to it that I appreciated.
Like just doing shit to try to like fix it quicker.
Yeah. So that was the first thing. The second thing is Yuji making this observation feels like maybe a little bit of a red herring. Now that I think about it, it could just be like Yuji is right, without him knowing. Like he could be intuitively right because you know he was possessed by Sukuna, right? So like it feels like maybe on some subconscious level he might get a feel for it, right? Like it could just be like a thing of like, hey, I don't know what this is, but I have a hunch that like attacking that shrine will do a lot of damage. And it's interesting because the way the chapter ends is with Sukuna getting thrown into that shrine, right?
Yeah.
And so
and that's why I think that Mei's correction of like, oh, he just would have done it if he could, like that's not really, that just doesn't apply here, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I see people talking about like teleporting away.
Yeah, that was
Listen, bro.
Dude, if
Gege another answer to that.
Yeah, Gege personally sided both of us because the Gojo clapping the teleporting thing was you, and I was like, oh no, he listens to the podcast. No, hold on, wait a minute.
I will say the like it's funny. Tessero and Liv in particular, like, be like, why would he teleport away, blah, blah, blah. And I will say, this is my opinion, like, the reason Gojo can't teleport away is because he decided to clash domains instead of doing that in the first place, right?
Mhm.
So, like, teleporting was still an option. If he knew that he could have, and that Sukuna, he would have lost that clash, he could have just teleported without burning away his technique. And we know he would have been able to survive the slashes because he did, right? Cool. Another thing is, if the shrine is the nucleus and not Sukuna, why not teleport out and then use Blue the way we've seen Blue use several times? Bring him to you, bro. Hey, Sukuna, come over here, bro. I got something to tell you real quick.
I mean, it could just be the burnt out technique again, but
I more mean what I mean is as a preemptive measure. So like this just goes back to the prior criticism of I think Gojo, if he didn't, should have gone in more informed, basically.
Yes, I mean that kind of goes back into the sentiment we had for, was it the last chapter, or the chapter before?
Yeah.
About like why they didn't inform him. So I definitely think this is sort of paying the price for that.
Yeah.
What can you do? Alexander does stuff. Thank you for the 2. Question: Did Yuta do this in Sendai or was it luck? What do you mean?
Reverse curse technique to heal your technique. I don't think so, or at least it's not implied. The thing is, he's just fighting Ishigori for a little bit before they come back into contact. It's not a criticism, because I think Gege does it to keep the drama high, I guess. But like the only, I guess, thing you could say that may lead to some inconsistencies, at least from your perception of it, is that we don't have a specific amount of time that like it takes to get back a technique, and that may just differ from person to person. It may have just not been very long, where Gojo and Sukuna were exchanging blows, but you have to think about it like this: Yuta and Ishigori were charging up their curse energy to the max. They had that clash, they clashed again, and then they charged each other, right? And then Yuta has his technique back. It's like, that's fine. So you can just say, oh yeah, it's been in the ambiguous amount of time it requires to get your technique back.
So
maybe Yuta saying that because he knows from experience, but I would assume not.
You think Yuta sensed it or something, like at whatever distance they're at?
Maybe, but I think it's sort of like, I think Yuta may just be surmising like that Gojo could not have possibly regained his technique fast enough through any other means. Like it's sort of like a process of like, no, that he couldn't have just gotten it back normally. It had to have been this, maybe.
How do you?
Yeah.
I guess, how do you feel about the ending?
Ending of the chapter.
Yeah, Gojo throwing Sukuna into the shrine, the healing, the what a pain in the ass comment. I guess like the whole package, right?
You go first because I'm curious what you mean about like how I feel.
So
like how do I feel if this paints the fight moving forward?
Yeah, kind of all encompassing, but yeah. Is this sort of another? I wonder what has to give before Gojo is more like unsure, or less confident, right? Because getting sliced and diced for however long this was, and then doing all this with a smile on his face. What will it take, right? Is the first thing.
Yeah.
And 2, I feel like when he gets to that moment, if or when, right, then he'd probably just be dead. Like I don't think he'll have the chance to reflect on it.
You don't think so? Fair enough.
I mean, unless the tag-in theory is true, right? And they just like
and
them just come
Gojo, relax. Bro, with the way you just talking, he's looking like a fan, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Bro is not looking like the second strongest. Like, I need you to lock in. Kashimo, I need you to lock in, bro. Like, listen, Kashimo, you haven't embarrassed me this chapter, all right? You were quiet, you weren't glazing, you weren't doing none of that, all right? So I'll let you slide. But I seriously need y'all to tap in, bro. Please.
Literally, like
I can't have you guys looking like, I get it. They're the strongest. Blah 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 blah. Stop looking like fans, bro. You're a sorcerer too.
It's like, Yuta, get that bead of sweat off your face, dog.
Yeah, bro. You have it on your face all the time.
You're the reserve unit. Like this is your problem if he doesn't do this.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm just like. Like, this is the guy that was supposed to fight Sukuna if Gojo lost. Like, just keep him, bro. Shit, just throw anybody out there. They're gonna get you the same result with the way he's talking, bro.
I low key,
Um,
and it's just I don't get it, bro. Where was the Yuta that was like, I'll kill Kenjaku myself?
yes, sure, bro. Yuta's learning new shit. Calm down. Yeah, bro. This is gonna be real nice when he's learning the new shit and getting blitzed in one shot by Sukuna. Like
Yeah.
his new training lessons mentally is gonna do a lot, bro. Like, listen, if he's learning and observing, maybe give me a Hikaruma type shit. Cause Hikaruma learned, bro. He saw domain amplification and said, I got it. Yuta saw domain amplification and said, oh my god, bro. This is just such a high level battle. Like, come on, bro. Do something for me, please. Please. Please.
Oh, dude, I just sometimes, bro, I just want to see like Sukuna on the ropes, like genuinely. Like I want to see either of them like truly sweat. You know what I mean? Like I want to see like I want
We've
to see.
seen that from Sukuna a bit.
It's
Bro got scared about that hollow purple, I'll tell you
yeah,
that.
okay, that was close. That was the closest one, right? And Gojo maybe like that first reaction to getting his neck sliced, but I mean like truly like shaking like and trying not to die, type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like, oh my god, bro, I'm scared. See, the problem is, I don't know if these are the two types of people to even on the brink of death, think like that.
Mm.
I really don't know. Like, the way I put it is like this, right? Like, are Gojo and Sukuna even the type to not smile in the face of death?
Yeah, that's true. It's just God, man.
Like, Gojo is literally skin, sinew, muscle, just tearing apart, and he's just thinking, I got this. I'm different. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I got my bucket list going again, and I'm like, all right. Now I'm more excited and / really want to see Gojo hit him with an infinite void. I just want to see it happen, right? Because Gojo.
I need Sukuna. Listen, bro. I know this is not gonna be popular. Blah blah blah. I need Sukuna to simply be like, bro. I know everything already. I'm chilling. This is information I have. Let's keep scrapping.
Mm.
I need a resistance to Gojo's domain. I'm begging you, Gege. Give me something, bro. Hook.
Oh, so people in chat are saying the shrine wasn't damaged.
I mean,
I don't think so.
Like, what damage?
Yeah.
Like, I just asked like this. What damage?
Yeah, the shrine looks like it's in one piece. Sukuna doesn't.
Yeah, no, his face is definitely burned off, bro.
Yeah. And see that blood trail?
Yeah.
Like the shrine is fine.
Yeah, I think it's all right. Yeah. If I was Gojo, I'm shooting a fucking hollow purple at Sukuna and the shrine. Even if Sukuna, you can dodge, bro. That shit needs to go just in case. I just need a double check.
Yeah.
Because if that's the center and you destroy the center of the domain, what? Like, I don't know. I don't see how that couldn't work.
I mean, like, what's the shrine gonna do? Move?
Yeah. Let's just push it somewhere else. Nah, but
the thing you put it too, bro. Yuta is the protagonist, and he needs something. I agree.
And the thing is, I don't doubt that like he will. It's just hard to see characters that like I like when they're ready to fight. I like when Yuta's, because Yuta's a little guy, right? Yuta's all about his friends. He's all about, he's a little guy, and I understand that's his personality most of the time. That's cool, right? But I also like that contrast with, I'm a badass. I know I'm a badass, and I'm about to kill everybody around me to save my friend. Like, bro, like that's cool. I like it. So seeing Yuta just that bead of sweat, bro. I'm like, please,
handkerchief? Like,
please, bro. Infinite info. Yeah, well, he already knows everything. Listen, I just need, because I do feel like an infinite void, he rips Sukuna's head off is kind of a win if he figures out how to do that shit. Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe if Maharaga's already out, like if Sukuna's already like 10 shadows time, right? Then I can see him getting past infinite void that way. He's like, no, I've already adapted to your technique. Your domain means nothing to me, guy.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there is one aspect of this chapter that I want to talk about briefly. Be cool. I'm telling you right now, you gotta be cool. I want to talk about the simple domain thing.
Oh, me was better.
You want to get it out now, and then we can talk about it seriously?
No, I'm talking about it seriously, so we can just continue at whatever pace you want to.
Okay. So, Gojo being able to use simple domain, specifically the new shadow style, is pretty cool. It's funny that he's taken the stance without a sword. It's a like funny detail.
I mean, Toto did it.
I know it's just it's amusing, right? Without the sword, right? Like, cause that's what the
Mm,
pose is supposed to be about.
mm,
I wonder what like Gojo's using it to buy himself time to heal and everything, which makes sense.
mm.
But I wonder if there's supposed to be like a what do you do in place of the sword, right? If you just use your hands, is it like a karate chop or something when somebody enters the domain? No.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Not really sure.
Because the
I'm
whole
pretty sure Sukuna's in his domain. He
yeah
don't do shit about it.
yeah
Bro just let him get in his space.
true.
Um,
So
yeah.
yeah, really cool detail for Gojo. Just like know how to use it, not know how to teach it because he's just like, oh, just got it, you
Yeah,
know?
bro. What do you mean? Like, bro, do I need to teach you how to breathe too?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I love the comment where it's like, oh, why the hell is he in charge of first years? Because
Mm.
yeah, why is
Yeah,
he in
that's
charge of
actually what he literally should not be in charge of first years. He's a horrible teacher from the sole perspective of like being able to teach people the basics. I mean, like like he kind of does it with UG, but unless you're a prodigy, bro, Gojo ain't teaching you shit. Listen, bro, you just like it's funny because he made fun of or like he got upset at Shoko in the flashback arc for not being able to teach him how to use reverse curse technique because she just got it,
Mhm.
and he's the same way with like almost everything else. It's like, bro, you just wham and then boom and then bam and it's like you got it right.
And it's crazy because
What the
it's not like
fuck?
he
That didn't make
can't
sense.
use it. He just can't use it on others.
It's like he can't. He's like, no, bro, it's so simple. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Like just do it.
Yeah,
He's like,
when I
oh,
do it on
okay, bro.
myself, it's okay. So Gojo, what you need to do right is you need to take that thing that you do to yourself and just like give it to some.
Explain.
Yeah.
He's like, but like just do it though. It's like, all right, go do fuck off. I'll go
Yeah.
find somebody else.
You know who excels with training like that? Fucking Utah.
Kusakabe's a really good teacher, bro. I'm not gonna lie to
Literally.
you.
Oh my god, bro. Kusakabe's the fucking MVP. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
bro was just mad knowledgeable. I'm like, listen, man, you would have been a quality
Yeah,
just teach people shit, bro. And
especially
you
for
just don't
first year. Yeah.
because the thing is because Kusakabe is like a loser by trade, and he got to where he is now, like on like sheer fucking skill. Like he knows how to teach people stuff. You know what I mean?
Bro is a loser by choice. That's so weird.
Yeah, I was like, no, bro. Like, listen, I just want to be a grade one. I'm not trying to do all this extra shit, bro. Leave me alone.
Uh,
Yeah.
Frost
If Yuji
Azul.
wasn't a natural, Gojo would have dropped him back at school. Yeah.
I don't think Gakuganji would have let that happen. Frost Azul, thank you for the 5. Sukuna changing the coordinates of his domain is a horrific thought. I don't even know if that's allowed once the domain is like summoned without some sort of like secondary price.
Well, Hikari, I think he's just referencing Hikari changing the coordinates.
Well, but that's because he unleashes the new domain every time, right? Because like it's a close then open, right? This is like while the domain
No,
would be active, right?
so no, there's a time. So the domain opens, right, and
Okay.
they're in one place, and then Hikari opens it, and they're
Oh,
above the sea when they
right.
weren't before. So
True.
I think he's getting at like, Gojo teleports away. He just moves. He's like, yeah, no, you're not getting away, buddy. The domain's still there. That would fucking. Or if just Sukuna was the center, so like no matter where you went, as long as he followed you, you would never get away. Terrifying thought, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying thought. But yeah,
Literally, Landa, grade 1 no curse technique is crazy for Kusakabe.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, what has bro seen?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, dude, I literally just he literally pulled up to Kenjaku, blocked that Maximum Uzumaki, and was like, I just want to go home. I don't want to be here.
Why
Let me
is it gotta
leave.
be me, bro?
Yeah, bro, like somebody do some shit, bro. I'm literally not paid enough for this.
Bro is like a more scared Nanami. Like I just love it. It's weird. I wouldn't even like if it comes out like in a later chapter that Kusakabe is just like on a different plane than like Nanami. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'm like, yeah, that'd be in
Yeah,
character
you
for
mean
him.
I don't even know if you need new chapters to confirm that for you. Wait, no, my Nanami hate reputation. Fuck. I mean, Nanami better, guys. Nanami better. Haha.
Bro,
Haha.
I'm just
Aren't I
like,
right, fellow Nanami fans?
I just feel like give Kusakabe a little bit more shine and you're gonna see like, oh yeah, he earned that volume cover. Cause that shit,
Yeah,
dude, that cover was way too raw for him. It just bothers me.
it's a cool cover. Yeah.
Like what did he do
Um.
to earn it?
Yeah. Nothing. Um. Yeah, I mean, I guess he just paid him in advance for blocking the Maximum Uzumaki, bro.
Dude, I swear, if Kenjaku attacks the room they're in right now, and Kusakabe is like on the front lines blocking the short
He
hit
just
domain,
blocked. He's just
yeah,
like shit, bro. Guys, everybody group in, get in my simple domain. I got this.
he's like, no, wait,
Nah,
I mean, guys, oh no, Kenjaku's
no, I'm so
here,
weak. I'm
yeah,
so weak.
because somebody save me, Yuta, oh,
Do
something.
something, bro. Yeah, it's funny. Higuruma is the exact opposite. Bro was a sorcerer for 2 weeks. Said, I think I get this whole being a sorcerer thing. I'm better. Yeah,
Literally, Kusakabe's, yeah, he is the opposite. He's like, yeah, I get this whole being a sorcerer thing. This shit is not
easy.
for me, bro.
Yeah,
Not
yeah. I
for
don't
me.
like it, but
Yeah.
like, it's. I mean, what do you mean, bro? Domain of just cover yourself in a domain, huh? Just do it. Okay, I guess. Thanks. Like, bro didn't see it in person. Bro didn't have someone teach it to him. He saw it from a screen and said, I get it.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate this guy. Um,
God,
yeah.
bro, I feel like Higuruma has a win con for somebody like Kashimo, because first of all, the no violence thing would already be like a big like hindrance,
Hmm.
but after Kashimo's found guilty, he's always going to be guilty. Let's be real, right?
Nah, bro. Kashimo has never committed a provable crime, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway,
Like, bro, Roskiku clean.
I would kill to see how it interacts with Kashimo specifically, because like the guy just uses his cursed energy, without his technique. So I feel like what you removed my technique that I wasn't going to use anyway, and you disrupted the flow of my cursed energy. But I kind of know how to correct that. So
Yeah, I'm kind of like curse energy control is kind of my thing. Yeah, because it's that like typically thing. Because if Higurum was just like every time a technique is stolen, you can't use your curse energy in general.
I mean,
That would just be like, or like that would be like a nobody
mm,
can use it, right? Or nobody can use it properly.
mm,
But it's that like typically shit. So it's like it leaves that arguability for anybody that can manipulate their cursed energy very well.
100%.
Um,
Yeah, like I feel like Gojo wouldn't like he'd be
yeah,
fine.
yeah, he'd be like, okay, I'll just hit you really hard
Yeah.
in the face a lot. If you consider that.
It's like what are you gonna
Yeah,
do? Blind me? Like
yeah. I can't see.
oh no,
Um,
what'll I
yeah,
do?
but no, yeah.
uh
Kusakabe versus Anime is not close. You're seeing that video in 2 weeks, by the way, guys. Um,
oh god. Uh
yeah, but
thoughts
yeah.
on Gojo blitzing Sukuna? Just for that brief instance? That was funny.
I mean, hey, bro, that's what happens when you can fucking teleport. Shit happens, bro. Sukuna got caught lacking. Um, you know,
uh
maybe the Sukuna fanboy in me, right? But yeah, it happens, bro. It happens. He definitely was not expecting him to have a technique, and he did, and he got hugged because of it.
um
So
that is true. All right, so where do you see the
hmm.
chapter, or I guess where do you see the fight going from here? What did this chapter change anything for you? Did it like adjust anything for you? And final thoughts.
Oh wait, it changed anything in what
Like your
sense?
fight predictions. Those kind of evolve chapter by chapter,
Um,
right? Like as we see, like
for me, not on this one. I just think Sukuna is gonna win full stop. But in terms of like, I'm liking the fight. This is a good chapter. This is a nice follow up. Um, I just like seeing these two go at it a lot. Overall, it's like a 9 or 10 out of 10 chapter. To be honest, it was just really good.
mm,
Um,
I just enjoyed the back and forth.
yeah,
Honestly, like it was just a
for
great
sure.
fight chapter.
Yeah,
Really showed off Gojo's resourcefulness, which is
yeah,
an aspect of him you don't really get to see because he's just overbearing to everybody else. So
yeah,
yeah, seeing him on the back foot was interesting.
yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, I'd say it's like a 9-10 for me.
Yeah, same, same,
Um,
same.
not sure how I feel about hiatus. Um,
It's a week
yeah,
break, bro. You'll survive. You'll survive.
knock wood, but like it's. I'm looking forward to the next chapter as I normally do. Um,
hmm Listen, bro. We got Tabata and Horikoshi kicking up a feast for us next chapter, bro. We'll probably even forget that Giga exists. Come on now, right, guys?
we got Blue Lock next week. We got Blue
Guys, is
Lock.
this thing on? Is this mic on, guys? Can you hear me?
Hmm?
Horikoshi and Tabata, right? No,
Yeah.
but
Liv, I'm glad you added for the first time in a while at the end there, because I was gonna say, I mean, Toji got a few drops. few drops of
A
six
few
eyes.
drops. A few drops is crazy, bro. Bro had him lying in a pool of his blood. All right, let's not detract from one of the few
Yep.
accomplishments that Toji was able to get before he got killed, bro.
Yeah, bro. I get it. Gojo needed a snorkel. He was drowning. I get it. Right.
Yeah, very much a lot. But yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say,
Solid chapter,
yeah,
one of the best for Gojo versus Sukuna so far.
very very short term prediction. Like not even like grandiose. Somebody's gonna tag in or Kenjaku's gonna attack. Like very modest prediction for me is just, man. If there was ever a time for the 10 shadows, like for Sukuna to use the 10 shadows, now would be it.
Nah, bro. Nah. You don't need that right now. You don't need that right now.
Do you think? Do you think Megumi's curse technique is more like power hungry for cursed energy? Especially if he has to like solidify the what do you call it, the Shikigami.
Like you just mean that does it cost more curse energy?
Yeah, because
Probably.
I remember in the Yorozu fight, the narrator said to fully manifest the Shikigami in like the material world, it like costs a lot of cursed energy, but they become vulnerable, and Sukuna just offsets it. Sorry, no. It costs more cursed energy to keep them as shadows without like taking a hit on their power, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, you think he's gonna go full manifestation or kind of run a repeat of the Yorozu fight?
I don't think he's. I mean, I think he's going to need their full power personally. I don't think he's going to like if he does pull them out soon. I don't think he's gonna go.
Yeah,
He doesn't kind of half-ass it.
He doesn't really have the luxury of doing like an incomplete domain against Gojo because he just survived like the most polished domain of all time, you know?
Yeah. If Sukuna uses 10 shadows, I think he's admitting defeat. I kind of agree. Like, I think using the 10 shadows is basically admitting 20 Finger Sukuna would have lost to him in a straight up fight.
Oh, absolutely. I don't even think that's like.
And I don't think Sukuna wants to do that.
I see. I mean, the thing is, right? His hand would need to be forced, right? Like, what do you think will it take? You know, short of Gojo surviving this, getting thrown into the shrine, the face getting crisped off, the arm getting like what do you think it'll take?
I mean,
to be like, all right, fine.
If you just look at it from this perspective, Sukuna still hasn't even used all of the abilities that we knew he had before Megumi.
Oh, so you think he's going like with the open thing, like he's?
He could. All I'm saying is, if he decides to use Megumi's curse technique, I will put it like this, right? Until he has been forced to use like open and like explain his technique, because he considered like the power up he gets, he considered cheating against Jogo, right? So until he opens his whatever the fuck, uses his technique, shows us what it is, and uses that to its fullest extent or whatever, he's not forced to use the 10 shadows, right? If he does decide to do it beforehand, that's fine, right? But if he uses the 10 shadows before he does open, then to me that's just like he hasn't been pushed to do shit. Because he hasn't used all of his abilities yet. That's personally how I feel about it. I wouldn't necessarily say Gojo's been pushed to the max either, though. Even though Gojo's used all of his techniques technically, I mean, we've obviously seen that the applications of them can vary. So I don't necessarily think Gojo's at 100%, but just using the 10 shadows without using like open or whatever the hell, or God forbid he has curse tools like he did in the Heian era, right? If he has any of that shit and he decides not to use it against Gojo before like and decides to use 10 shadows, you know, I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
What's open? That's the thing he used to bring out like the fire arrow or whatever.
The thing he said to Jogo. Okay. Yeah, I think this chapter. Oh my god, this fight's still got a lot of gas left in the tank. Knock on wood, bro. Every time I like even think that thought, I'm like, no way.
I remember you were saying, bro, 4 chapters was enough. Or is that energy now?
I literally did not say that. I said no. What I said was, I wouldn't put it past Gege to do some shit like that.
Listen, bro. What you're saying is you thought he was a shit writer. Just admit it.
Look, bro. We were all thinking it. I just said it.
We were not all thinking it, bro.
I think I speak for the streets, for the people.
No.
Disagreed.
I'm actually the street whisperer, and they were saying that's not what we were. That's not what we were saying.
I'm knocking again, bro. I started sweating just thinking about it.
No, bro, I'm not worried. I'm about as worried as I was of Gojo dying. So that's to say, it's not happening. You're good. You know, maybe we'll cut away for a little bit or something, but you know, otherwise we're fine.
Anyway, great episode, great chapter. Thank you guys for coming out. thanks for giving your picks for next book club. Please peep the community tab for the poll once we finalize all the choices. Thanks to everybody who came through, liked the stream, for those of you who did, and for those of you who didn't, like the stream. Am I missing anything?
Yeah. No, appreciate you guys. Hope you had a nice Father's Day. Got to chill with your dad, celebrate him, do all that good stuff. And hope you made your Sunday even just a little bit better. So we'll see you next week. Hopefully with a guest, spice things up a little bit. And we'll just keep cranking out episodes, I guess. Hope to see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.
Peace. Have a good one.